can say that on
a boat. Yeah.
All aboard?
Yeah. All aboard.
I feel like that's a train thing.
I think it's any form of travel that you need everyone to be all aboard.
That said,
I've heard my dad say it getting into a car on a family vacation. So,
in any case,
yeah.
welcome back
To the back corner.
to the Dozens.
And the Dozens.
We are glad you are with us today.
We could not be more thrilled to have you along today for 56 BC.
Here we are, man.
We are closing in
us.
on that big 6-0.
Look at us, man.
Going to be the season finale.
Season 2 about to come to an end.
Speaking of that, we are, for our season finale episode, once again, we are going to have Kel and Mel on, our wives, Kelly and Melanie, and we need you to send in your listener questions.
Yes.
Submit your listener questions. Ron, how should people submit those listener questions?
I believe it's Captain Ron.
Well, we're gonna announce this the big Ron related news coming up when we get to Ron's research.
The Dozens are wondering.
Oh, the
what's
Dozens
going
are
on with Ron.
guys. Your minds are going to be blown. You are going to be so happy. I suspect there will be parties all across the English speaking world,
maybe
in celebration of what's happened with our friend Ron. But Ron, where should people send those questions? Is there an email? Comment section?
On our website, they can go to info@backcornerpodcast.com or just in the comments.
Awesome.
All right, we'll find it.
Yeah. We'll pick some of the best ones. We'll answer them.
Nothing's off limits. We won't necessarily use it.
Yeah, you can ask anything you want.
Yeah.
We're not promising to answer anything you ask.
I mean, maybe we'll do a separate podcast on the Patreon.
There we go.
And
we do the behind the scenes
questions
one.
we couldn't answer on the public platform.
There we go. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
we'll call that the backdoor podcast.
Good Lord.
Like an old speakeasy where you got to knock, you got to know the right handshake. Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Well, we've embarrassed our guests, so we might as well introduce them.
All right, here. Who we got in the back corner today?
Justin and Amy Howard are no strangers to the back corner. They were some of our first guests, and Amy was back for a second visit just over a year ago. Amy is the executive director, and Justin is the CFO of Encounter Culture Mission Collaborative, a ministry that's committed to empowering ordinary believers to embody the gospel of the kingdom. They do some amazing work, helping people to find and share all kinds of healing and freedom in Christ. Justin and Amy live in a lovely old home in New Hampshire with lots of boys, animals, and fruit trees, but they're back in the back corner with us today, so please give a warm welcome back to Justin and Amy Howard!
Wow, I have absolutely never experienced anything like that in my life.
How is that for an intro?
We told you that
gosh.
since you were last here, we've kind of figured out who we are, and one of the things we are is ridiculously overblown introductions
I'm
for our
so
guests.
glad that you are confident in your identity.
By we, he means he.
Yeah. We figured out that when Brent stumbles through an introduction that he had ChatGPT write, it's less
Claude,
good than when I Bruce Buffer my way through one that I wrote. I think you were ChatGPT when we were doing that.
I was, for sure. Yeah, we are glad to have you guys back here, though.
Absolutely.
Third time for Amy, second time for you.
All right, it is
Justin.
third time for Amy. Yeah, I forgot that.
So one of our most viewed.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, but the Dozens
love them some
both
Howards.
of those episodes.
Come on.
So and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Probably just all my kids.
Maybe there's a
What
Howard.
are the odds your kids are watching this podcast?
None. Not at all.
I think the only time I know for a fact my son may have seen that. Oh no, he probably didn't even see that. I was going to say may have seen this podcast. There was a class at his school that they had to watch one of the episodes in class, but I don't think he was in that one. So, yeah.
At Kingswood?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what?
Not in high school.
No.
What were they studying?
Homiletics. And one of our early episodes, me and Brent and AJ Plazer had a big conversation about preaching that was interesting to other preachers. End of list.
Yeah, it was one of our least viewed ones,
but we had
a great time. We did.
We had a good time.
We had a great time. It's super good to have you guys back, and you're up here in the area because Encounter Culture is doing an Encounter Equip weekend in Halifax. I guess it will have happened because this will be a few days after it. Well, hey, who knows what the Holy Spirit does? You could still be there. We don't even know.
That's true. Revival could break out.
I mean, who knows? Who knows?
In Halifax, I don't think you'd have revival. I think it would be vival.
Oh, yeah.
First time.
Implies there was an original.
There was something there to begin with.
Places
Just digging the well for the first time.
Yeah, we're digging the well,
you could go
guys.
for revival, but I think in Halifax it's just vival.
Those are our favorite places. Those are my favorite places, the ones that don't have a well.
I'll tell you what, man, Halifax is very ripe. Like God's
amen.
really stirring stuff there. So
truly,
even in our congregation, like it's we've maxed out the space, and Pastor Seth and the team there have really dug some pretty deep wells of prayer, and like there's just the temperature and the atmosphere is. I'm excited you guys are to what you're walking into, knowing what you bring. So, which I do want to say, on the podcast as well. Like a lot of the dozens are King's Church people. A lot of them aren't, but as it pertains to King's Church, like your guys'
some of them are rec league hockey players in Ontario.
That's true too. But as it pertains to our ministry, like it's been so good to just over the last couple of years to have this connection with you guys, and just feels like you guys have been such a huge blessing to our church, in the times you've been up here, both for doing the Encounter Weekend in Quispamsis about a year and a half ago, and then you served our whole board and staff leaders last summer, which that to this day, there's so much positive testimony about what happened at that. And so I like
Amy spoke at Harvest.
Yes,
last year.
totally. So like, and I wanted to mention and say thanks. Like you guys have really, you've made a very big impact in our church in a very healthy way. So, and I want our people to know that too, because they might not have actually been at any of those events, but even just what you did at our staff board retreat, like the dividends from that are affecting our people, right? So, anyway,
And,
I love your ministry, and
If you haven't experienced the Howard's ministry, I've got great news. They're today's official sponsor.
Hey.
So you can go to Encounter Culture. If you want to know more about Encounter Culture Mission Collaborative, you can go to encounterculturene.com, encounterculturene.com.
Yeah, check them out.
Why don't you guys tell us just a quick, what is Encounter Culture? What do you guys do?
You want to do it?
You got it.
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well. We're really passionate about if the tide of ministry had been running toward the center for a long time in the West. We're passionate about helping the tide move back outward. So equipping the missional edges of the church to do the stuff that Jesus gave his disciples to do. So we really believe that God uses ordinary people to heal and deliver and in non-weird ways.
Yep. Come on. Yeah. I love the language you use, like we are the grown-ups kind of thing. Like,
or there aren't any.
Like, there's no experts coming or grown-ups coming. Like we're up. We're it. So and I absolutely love that. Actually, I forgot my hat, my Encounter Culture hat. But we got some swag for you guys, whether or not you ever wear it or not.
Oh my gosh.
Your very own back corner hat. A couple shirts. Here's something for gardening. I don't think it's quite your style out and about, but
look at
I have to say, I actually wore this, the one you gave me.
Yeah.
I wore it to Market Basket, which is our grocery store. And someone came up to me and said, "Tell me about Jesus."
Nice.
And I was caught off guard because I forgot that I was wearing it.
That's happened to me a couple
And I was
times.
like, "Oh my gosh, revival's breaking out right here."
What must I do to be saved?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. We have we're out of them. We like a lot of our back corner merch is gone, but we had a run of Ask Me About the Nephilim.
No.
Yeah. So I actually had a guy in a grocery store parking lot walk out there. He's like, "What's the Nephilim?" And I got in this whole conversation, and then he's like, "Oh, that's cool." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a believer." What he said first, he goes, "I'm an atheist, swear to God." And he's like, "No, I'm a believer." I guess he was in the military, and yeah.
We
anyway.
have an unofficial sponsor today too.
Oh, yeah?
That is going to be news to Brent. But our unofficial sponsor is King's Academy student Carol Mercer,
Oh yeah.
who has heard our cry, and she has provided us with the complete
Oh my.
Sunday school flannel graph set that
Oh
we've been
my
looking
goodness.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah,
Look at the rainbow. We're taking that rainbow back.
Oh yeah, baby.
So this is going to end up going up, back here in the back corner.
If you're listening, there is flannel graph materials galore.
And if
right
you
here.
if you don't know what flannel graph is, we're
haven't-
really glad you found Jesus. Welcome to the church. We know you didn't grow up in a Christian
you clearly,
and
at least in the last 10 years.
but we're glad you're along with us. So thanks Carol for that. We really appreciate
you
it.
kind of got to be millennial or older to really have this.
yeah.
I think I got saved through flannel graph.
I can smell the brown
do.
paper towels when I see flannel graph.
Oh yeah.
I smell must because that was the basement.
Yeah, that was the
basement
basement. That's what I
church.
mean. It all smells like paper
there
towels.
is a church
Yes.
basement smell
Yeah.
that has elements of others, like other basements have a component of it, but there's a specific
Church
It's the
basement
Folgers
smell.
coffee
Yeah.
And
And,
the-
the brown paper towels.
and the
coffee
mac and
bread.
cheese
Yeah.
or casserole smell.
Yeah.
Loose
casserole.
garments that are just left over.
old choir robes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
glasses.
Ew.
What I've noticed,
Yeah.
I love particularly old churches, but I've been in basements of Baptist churches, Pentecostal churches, Wesleyan churches, Catholic. Maybe next to the Trinity, there's nothing that binds the Church of Jesus Christ more closely than the consistency
unified in this.
of the smell of a church basement. It's interdenominational.
I don't want to know why you've spent so much
Smells like
time
Christians.
in so many basements.
Smells like the kingdom of God.
I always look around when I go to a new church.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go down just to smell it.
Over time,
Nostalgia.
at some churches, that smell from the basement it creeps into the main level.
It certainly does.
You're like, oh, this just smells like old church.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
You do get a little of that.
yep.
Thing.
Well, we also we do have this big Ron-related announcement.
Yeah. What's the?
So for the first 55 episodes, Ron has been our producer, but we are happy to announce that the official guild of podcasting professionals has seen fit to grant Ron the rank of captain.
Captain
Ron. From here on out. He'll be commanding the good ship back corner and going to keep us on track. He is no longer in the producer seat. He is now at the helm.
He's got just
You won't be able to see it.
We're gonna this is we got Ron in celebration. We got him this hat.
got his own captain's hat.
So jump down
Anybody
there in that
that's-
comment section. Congratulate Ron on his incredible promotion.
This is a big promotion. It's a big day, Ron.
It's
You've
a
earned
huge
it.
day.
You've earned it. Our life's in your hands.
the day you met
trust
Jesus,
you.
the day you became a father, the day you became a captain. Those are the big three in a man's life.
I think you should really own it. I mean, that's a typically Christian thing to do. Like if you get an honorary doctorate and you're just like, hey, I'm
totally.
a doctor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
this is an honorary captaincy.
Change my
and
title on the website to
You put
Pastor
CP
Captain Ron.
Put CPT
Totally.
next to, Reverend.
I love
Captain.
these pastors who it's like the most reverend doctor canon. Whatever. You're just
Yeah.
like, buddy, we get it. You went to school and some people like you. Like,
Or you own the school.
yes.
Yeah.
Did I send you that video of that like Nigerian minister and it was like Doctor Apostle Evangelist King.
No.
Yeah. It was,
Wow.
and he was driving Rolls Royce through the slums, and it was
How many Breitlings did he have?
probably at least 35. So we talked in our last episode. We talked about Kenneth Copeland and his 36 Breitlings.
Their watch
We
is
had
super high end watch.
The dozens like when we disagree. By the way,
As I said
we need
to-
to find some stuff we
As I
disagree
said
on.
to
It's
one of the
hard.
dozens yesterday, I said the dozens like it when mommy and daddy fight.
Who's your daddy though? That's the question.
Dude, I'm you signed my paycheck. You can be daddy all day. That's fine.
Well, that would be true to form. I don't win in my own house, so
There
I'm
you
not
go.
going to win here either. So.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, we got talking about like wealth and prosperity,
Yeah.
and then the prosperity gospel and the leveraging of. Anyway, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Good
you
time.
if you missed that and you'd like to hear two friends argue over something, you can.
Wait, who's the prosperity gospel guy?
Well, we
Kenneth Copeland.
I thought it was you.
no,
No.
neither of us are prosperity gospel. We got arguing about like
Is there
what's
such thing as too much wealth?
what is there
for
a line that's
Christian?
too much, and I take issue with that. That's a super subjective thing to say.
Sure.
And like even I was listening back to some of our argument, and even like your line is still subjective within what's appropriate here.
Totally subjective.
And it's like as you wear an Apple Watch, and it's like the people in Haiti be like, nobody needs 37 Breitlings, and no Christian needs an Apple Watch, right? So that was my whole thing. It's like if we start drawing those lines, we're going to realize we aren't really coming from the same starting point. So
And my point was the fact that the line is subjective doesn't remove the fact there probably is a line.
which I agree with.
Within your
we
club.
kind of agreed.
Yeah,
But
we did it in a dramatic fashion that
Yeah.
was great TV.
which we need more stuff that we
Good.
disagree on. Which there's not that much anyway. But when we find something, we'll throw it out.
Totally.
Yeah, we might be able to find one today.
Speaking of
know.
things people may or may not agree with,
What are we researching today, Ron?
Captain Ron. Put some
wanna know-
respect on his name.
Oh, Captain Ron. Aye. What are we researching?
I want to know what the best flavor of apple is.
Oh,
That's a great question, and it's easy.
Oh yeah.
Like the best kind of apple?
Yeah.
that's a
Oh.
good call because we do
So
have
easy.
fruitologist. I don't know. What are
Yes.
an orchardist?
I know they have an orchard.
Alcohol fruitologist.
Fruitologist?
We're making
We're
up.
just, we're just throwing titles around
It
here.
sounds
today.
like a made-up
love
title
it
that
is.
is involved in some sort of commercial for a food targeted at children.
Yeah.
Like fruit roll-ups
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like,
I taste
our
gummies
fruitologist. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Fruit roll-ups
Yeah.
are awesome, by the way.
I've only had like maybe 2 in
You
my life.
ball them up and put it in like a big piece of
Gosh,
chew.
I used to trade my mom's homemade snacks for fruit roll-ups and Dunkaroos.
Oh, Dunkaroos are
Yeah.
the best.
go with
You ever seen me?
anything that
If you
involves
think I got
frosting.
a big wad of tobacco under my lip, it's actually fruit roll-up.
That's why you
So
don't
to be
have any
clear,
teeth.
it's fruit roll-up.
Yeah. I couldn't chew if I wanted to.
I have this weird thing about not getting mouth cancer.
That's a good thing to have.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a
Call me soft, but
that's a good thing to have.
this is my moneymaker. I can't go having it rot off my head.
What's your go-to apple?
If you can pick it straight from the tree, I like a good Cortland.
Wow, it's a hot take and the wrong one. Next,
Straight from the tree, definitely a Honeycrisp.
now we're talking.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah.
I like Williams Pride.
Oh, what's a Williams Pride? Is it the brown one? No, it's a russet. That's a brown one's a russet.
No, I think it came out of Cornell, and they are phenomenal.
Oh,
It's
they're
a-
like
it's
they're
a
like
newer kind of.
Bougie.
genetically engineered.
Yeah.
No,
It's a
usually
bougie
they're
apple.
not.
Not like my humble Cortlands that you can just pick off.
Okay,
any tree
your
in New Brunswick.
Cortland is anything but humble in the Northeast. You want to hear about your Cortland?
Dude, I've always just picked them off random trees.
Weed
No,
Cortlands.
for a Cortland or a Mac up here, it's been sprayed right into the ground. So like they're really diseasy, so
Yeah.
they attract a lot of.
I'm sure the ones you buy in the store
Disease.
are.
No,
I don't,
all
I don't mean I've been to
Cortland
an
and
orchard.
Mac.
I mean like out of a guy's backyard.
If it is not covered in scab, it
No,
was
it is.
sprayed pretty.
Oh, you don't mind
If
the
it's
scabs.
covered in scab, then it's fine.
Then it's fine.
Doesn't
Yeah.
hurt me at all.
Yeah.
Bother me. I don't. If they bruise really easily.
Yeah.
And so that's why I prefer once
Do you like them for eating or for cooking or like what do
Oh,
you like?
I only
about
eat them. I mean, I will eat them that someone else cooks, but I don't
Okay,
cook
well,
with
you
them.
favorite-
you just like to eat them
The best is definitely I like the freshly picked Honeycrisp from Costco.
from
You can pick them a whole bag at a time at Costco. It's so much easier.
Actually-
I heard these people go out into these orchards or something like that. They got to take them one at a time.
This probably isn't like truly an apple, but pear apples are awesome. You ever have a pear apple?
Oh.
It's like a hybrid. Like
Propple?
it's
Okay.
like it's like a pear apple. Those are phenomenal, but it's getting a little apple adjacent.
I'll tell you something. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I will eat one every chance I get, and I think they're underrated. I love a good straight up crab apple.
Oh, you're wild, dude. That's
Wow.
That's the craziest
the
thing.
road.
That might be the craziest thing anybody's ever said in this back corner.
the road going into the dump at Beulah, the dumpster. There's a crab apple tree there, and I had about 5 of them the other day.
That's crazy.
There's so much about that story.
Oh, I love them.
Deer don't even eat crab apples.
I love 'em.
They're like when I'm baiting
They're
deer
nature's
and I put
sour
crab apples, they
candy.
leave them. They're like, I'm not eating.
If you like sour soothers or sour blasters or whatever, and hey, if you're having struggles with your regularity, boom,
good fiber.
put 7 or 8 of those down your gullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a BM on demand.
That's on,
I wish.
on demand.
I wish.
DM. That's amazing.
Take this, X-Lax.
It's all natural.
All right.
Right.
It's one small step for man.
Cue us up, AJ.
So we have this segment that whenever we have a lady on, we love to take the opportunity to get a little insight or wisdom or guidance for men in the audience. It's called For All Mankind. So, Amy, what advice do you have for all mankind?
Oh no, I felt like last time's was good, so I
It
don't know
was
how
really
to top
good.
Yeah,
it.
no, it was great. You have to
I feel
talk.
like you got more wisdom to share.
Oh my gosh.
Was that about the
this
pea
stuff.
spattering?
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
what-
Yeah. Like there really is.
Yep, and that's maybe it's something about having you on here that because the last time I also said I just sit down, and that Brent found wildly offensive too.
Yeah, that's why I'm the daddy.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
You sit to pee. So.
You know, there's actually a Bible verse about this.
About sitting down?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not about sitting down; it's about standing.
It's about
up.
standing up. It's King James version. He that pisseth against the wall. It's actually very important
Yeah,
verse
I
for,
heard-
for masculinity.
I heard this fundamentalist preacher.
Where is it?
I heard a fundamentalist preacher preach a whole sermon about it.
Chronicles
Fact check.
something.
I'm gonna look that up.
Did you
Yeah.
have you seen that clip?
Oh yeah, like an hour-long sermon.
Like in Germany, Men sit to pee. That's why Germans are all going to hell. And like, it's just like the craziest. Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, this is a guy who also like basically half of his church will get to heaven and nobody else kind of a thing. Like super fundy, but yeah, he's a hoot.
Putting the mental and fundamental.
That's right. Ooh.
Yeah. And taking all the fun out.
What do you?
I think I got one.
All right.
Yeah. And it's only because I have teenage boys right now, and quite a few of them who I hope will not be listening to this moment. But
Mine might.
They've had enough girl trouble that they've actually been questioning whether or not women should have the vote. And so they come home
Got a whole
with like,
slew of chauvinists down there.
and it's just from their personal experience. Like, wow, women just shouldn't get to make strong decisions and be in leadership of any
can't even
kind.
think
and
right.
and one of them actually argued with me in the car about women having the vote.
Gutsy.
Yeah, it was pretty
Argue with
nervy.
you about that.
Yeah, it was.
she
I
was
thought
driving.
so, and
She
I
was
was
driving.
driving.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a
I
whole
was
other level of
driving.
gushing.
Drive and provide for him.
Yeah, they also, one of them will correct my driving while he's in the car,
Incredible.
like my teenager that's
great.
just gotten his license.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's actually advice, but I do love the vote.
Yeah.
So let your wives vote, guys.
Can we vote?
Pro tip: let the women in your life vote.
And just have an opinion on stuff. Value
In general.
value their opinion.
It gets better than it is when you're 16. You know, like the ability to communicate well with one another. Yeah.
That's true.
I saw
So men, be a little more sensitive to the nature of how women process things. Women, maybe think in a straight line on occasion.
There we go. Speaking of teenagers,
Maybe do a little 1 + 1 = 2 every now and again. Just throw us a bone.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day about
fair.
teenagers,
So
and it's like having a teenager is having a person who thinks you're the dumbest person in the world, and they're simultaneously completely dependent upon you.
Yeah, they throw a lot of shade for dependence.
No wonder they're so
incredible.
angst-ridden, though, right? If you thought
You knew
that your entire
everything.
existence was dependent on the stupidest person you knew.
Maybe, yeah, that's where the anxiety comes from. We're not going to make it. I know these people.
Yeah, totally. It was like, oh, we're doomed. We have no chance. So we thought we'd do a follow-up to this segment, though, today. I don't think we've ever done this one before. But so, again, we regularly have guests on who are women, but it's exceedingly rare, maybe only a couple of times, for us to have guests on who are a married couple. And so while you are both here, what advice would you have for all married kind?
Well, and they're celebrating 20 years, like right about now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yesterday was our wedding anniversary.
Hey.
20 years. That gets a horn blast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did it, guys. 20 years. There's your horn
That's
blast.
the sunk cost anniversary.
The what?
The sunk cost anniversary, where you're like, well, frig, we got to make it work. We got 20 years.
Yeah,
That's
it's
We're too invested at this point.
We got too much
Too much
invested.
debt.
We're gonna
too hard to start over anniversary.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
good.
I just keep reminding Amy that she's been an excellent first wife.
That's great.
You know, so,
Nice.
You're the best first wife.
best first wife
My wife
ever.
and I have been in this weird, like, morbid phase lately where we keep having these, like, okay, so if something were ever to happen to you, or something was ever to happen to me conversations.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. It's one of those things, like, we both, I think, get that it should feel weirder than it feels, but it doesn't feel weird, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a sign of health.
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
joke with Melanie, like, you'll have a date at my funeral.
Wow.
she won't. Maybe.
she'll be asked for her number, but do you have Brent's old cell, or should I get a different number?
Is that your
Hot Lips. John would be there moving.
Yeah, I got a little buddy at our church. He's got Down syndrome. He's the best.
Oh, he's so funny.
He loves my wife.
Legit calls her. Hot
He'll
Lips.
come up, and he'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, how's your wife?" I'm like, "Brother, you're the only person in the world that can say that
can
to
get
me,
away
and I'll
with
give you
that.
a hug and a high five." So,
He asked me that. He doesn't call my wife Hot Lips though.
Yeah.
But he does. How's your wife? He gets this little twinkle in his
Oh,
eye.
he does,
And I
dude.
still can't figure out
He's
if
a
it's
ladies'
like
man.
I can't figure out if it's like I've learned that it's like an appropriate social thing to ask someone about their family, or if it's a legit,
No,
like,
he's
I'll
flirting.
steal your girl.
Oh, totally. He's flexing 100%.
Yeah,
it's on the prowl.
He says, "How's your wife?" But it feels a little bit more like, "Tell your wife I said hi."
Oh, it totally is.
that's the vibe.
Oh my!
Yeah, and he's always wearing a suit. He's always better
does.
dressed than I've ever been since my
Wow.
wedding. So
He's the best.
yeah, he's
Wow.
great.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. You got any wisdom for the dozens on marriage?
Yeah, how'd you make it
in
20
years?
7 kids?
6.
6?
I was gonna say have kids.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
them. We started. I mean, I think similarly started having kids right off, and I have no regrets about that. I feel like we kind of grew up together, but kids redirect the pressure to
Yes.
be perfect for one another into something to take care of
It's nice to have a
in the
project.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a mutual instead of just trying to fix each other.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stay broken and have kids. You heard it here first on the back.
It's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
Totally.
Yeah, because you have to be
We
a
gotta-
team.
we gotta team up
Yeah,
here.
you
Yeah,
have
you
to
have
be
to
a team.
protect
That's
one
right.
another
Yeah,
and
yeah,
support
yeah.
support each other. I think too. I think having similar interests, things that you guys can talk about consistently. all
Maybe
the
not
time.
as many things as we do because I feel like that's a little overdone.
You guys just are into the same stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
too much
yeah,
of the same stuff.
yeah. We need to like get
Diversify.
friends.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to be friends with the Howards,
It only costs you $19.99. No. Yeah, no, I think that really and make each other laugh and
Yeah.
and in inappropriate ways sometimes.
Definitely.
So important.
Definitely.
honestly,
Laugh at naughty things.
Yeah, laugh at naughty
laughing
things
is
so
so
important.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a stress relief. It bonds you too. Like
Yeah.
if you ask me for a list of my best friends and you ask me for a list of the people I've shared the most laughs with, it's pretty much an identical list.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when we went to that class that you take before you give birth. Did anyone else?
Yeah.
take that
Lamaze
class?
or whatever?
They didn't
Well,
call
no.
it that in the
Yeah. It's
early
just like
2000s.
prenatal class. or
Yeah.
whatever.
It was taught by this really scary woman who had like puppets. Of,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Like a uterus puppet.
Yeah. She's like, well,
fun.
she had this big bag, and she was like,
Did she have a flannel graph?
No, just puppets.
oh, they were made of flannel,
But
though.
they came. So there's this big bag, and you just never knew what she was going to take out.
What's she gonna pull out of that bag?
Yeah.
Definitely
organ
not
is
mature
sneaking in
enough
this
for
next
this
to me?
class, and everyone else was taking it very seriously.
guys
we
just
just
teasing
died.
in the
we
whole
died
time.
laughing the whole time.
Yeah. There's probably like psychological and physiological things even within a relationship, especially a marriage. Like I love like nothing more than hearing Melanie laugh. Like that's like her laughing and action and it's they're harder to come by. She's not like not a laughy person, but you gotta earn it.
I've known her since middle school and I've never heard her laugh.
Oh, she's got a great laugh. But
I'm sure she does.
That's my little treasure though.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
what I'm
Like,
saying.
It's like
Yeah.
I love that. That it's like I get to see a side of her that nobody else does.
Yeah.
And I think the laughter piece is huge.
Yeah.
It's good.
I've
Definitely.
found over Kelly and I are coming up on 25 years in August, and I've found my sense of humor is not as broad as it used to be because it's been tailored to what makes her laugh.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can get a laugh out of a room if I need to.
You're
or
like an
whatever.
AI bot that's
Well, yeah,
just
honestly, like,
learned
but my
what to-
sense of humor used to be much more kind of broad, and now it's much more like instinctively tailored because there's no one I'd rather make laugh.
We're
Yeah,
the
that's true.
opposite. I just learned to laugh at a whole lot of things that I would not have laughed at before.
Mainly anything relating to bodily function.
Well, I
definitely.
think that would be
Yeah, I
true
mean,
of Kelly.
for sure.
She grew up super like her family.
Yeah, we did not laugh at.
They went through. Her mother would go through her Sesame Street books, and anywhere where it said rats or phooey, she would black it out for real.
I got in trouble for saying butt one time.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you supposed to say?
Bottom.
Bottom.
Oh.
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
We don't say that.
But it's
word.
really it's in the middle though, so that's not even correct. If that part of you is on the bottom of you,
That's true. That's your feet. Really.
Yeah.
Do you guys we like to send memes to each other. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the that's
Yeah.
I probably send more than Justin does.
Yeah.
Well-
And I don't know if he reads them.
I do.
Well-
no, she sends me
I'm the sender in our-
Babylon Bee stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
yeah.
Kelly sends me stuff on occasion. I send her her and my buddy Benson are the two people that get anything I find funny. And then there's filter levels down for
Yeah.
Right. Oh, totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Awesome. That's good advice.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Let's talk conspiracies.
Yeah, let's get our metaphorical tinfoil hats on, if nothing else. Ron, Captain Ron, My apologies,
So
sir.
it's going to take a little bit of adjustment.
I
for
will
us.
walk the
That's-
plank if that's what you deem necessary. You can throw me in the brig, whatever required. But yeah, if you can fire up that video for us, we'll get this first one going.
Oftentimes you'll see physical manifestations of what's going on in the spiritual realm. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to anticipate that we might find references to the water kingdom in the physical if this is a spiritual gate for Rahab, the water god. And sure enough, I go on Google Maps, names of streets, restaurants, businesses named after the water kingdom. And this is aside from Starbucks. Starbucks, by the way, just for your listening audience, is a mermaid. That is the symbol of Starbucks, the logo. And so when you are buying a Starbucks, you are aligning, partnering, giving your money, making a transaction with the water kingdom. So I would encourage people, do not buy from Starbucks anymore. You just find another coffee house that will give you your favorite coffee or tea, and repent of any time you have given Starbucks your money. That's just an aside, another way to cleanse ourselves. I'm looking on Google Maps. I see
That's good. That's
mermaids.
good. So, first of all,
Excellent.
if you guys, I can get you her contact info if you
I was
want
gonna
to
say,
work some of
before
that
we-
material into your training.
I
that you
mean,
guys
she
do.
looks normal.
Yeah, you know, you would.
He doesn't sound it.
So is this a healthy caution or something closer to like 80s-esque satanic panic, or what's our read on this lady?
My goodness. Well, first, that's the first time I've heard Starbucks is a mermaid. I've heard the Starbucks logo is Lilith.
Right.
I've heard that before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to- it's
She used to have a
totally
great
Lilith.
fair.
No, like the demon Lilith.
No, I know, but Lilith
Yeah.
Fair was named after
Oh.
that Lilith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
'cause
thought
she's
there was
like
just
the rebel woman or
naming
whatever.
a woman named Lil.
I think it's funny
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Lilith is seen as like she was Adam's first wife. Is that the idea? With
Right.
that mythology?
Yeah.
I
Right.
think it's hilarious that she's considered the bad one. Like Eve is the one who ate the fruit. You know, what did Lilith ever do?
So Lilith is considered Adam's first wife.
Yeah, that's the idea
Yeah.
in some
Is it like the Book of Enoch or something?
No, no,
it's
no.
some weird fringe part of like it's the Jewish mythology, not like theology kind of.
Yeah, and I think it's actually also it's somehow merged with Babylonian
Yeah,
theology too.
it's all wacky.
Yeah, Genesis doesn't mention.
But let's
he
not
had
get off
multiple-
into weird
Okay.
stuff. Is
Yeah.
Starbucks of the devil?
Well, I think Starbucks is
Because
of the
of the
devil
symbol?
of another for another
Yeah.
reason, but
I mean, I like two things come to mind. I mean, Paul talks about not questioning where your meat comes from, and I kind of feel like we live in such a demythologized culture. It's such a not like we've moved so far away from spiritual thinking that we have a craving for things to be supernatural or to have a supernatural origin, that then people get kind of fixated on an origin story or and then they get paranoid about it. But I don't know. Paul talks about not actually overthinking where your food products come from, because I mean, in his day, they really were coming from a.
Everything is sanctified
Yeah.
through Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Eat with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do you think characters that are of some sort of mythic origin like that, if they're not overtly Christian, then there's some, like I know some people who, if they can trace anything back to anything that isn't Christian, that is spiritual, they're like, there's some bad juju on this or whatever, you know what I mean? Like whether
the
it's-
Christmas tree.
Well, yes.
the
Although
Advent
whether
wreath.
it's like dragons or Hercules or that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like what's your guys' take on that kind of stuff like that? Not necessarily just a company logo, but characters of that sort of thing that are mythological.
Well, I don't know how many of them really were mythological, but I think that's a different conversation.
Because some of them may have been
They may have, had.
So I mean, they're from
Had-
mythology. I don't mean
Sure.
I don't mean mythological
Right.
as in false. I mean mythological in the more academic sense of from a myth, which doesn't mean it's untrue.
right. Yes, right.
I feel like G.K. Chesterton kind of gets at this. Like, we have such a desire for wonder and for,
Yep.
and I don't know. I think that it gives the demonic too much credit to make every story powerful like that.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes, like, I definitely believe that, like, myths are true.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the way that we understand that word, but like, like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien talk about like the true myth, right? Like that's their whole premise behind Middle Earth and the Lord of the Rings. It's like it's pointing to the true myth.
Yeah.
In a lesser sense, that's what parables are.
Yeah.
Like they're.
Yeah. It's true.
I think it's
Did it
Peter-
happen? No.
I think
It's
it's
true
Peter
though.
Kreeft who says a parable is a true story that never happened.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
So I think there's something to be said about that, but I definitely, to your point, I don't think we're supposed to. Like maybe that's true. Maybe there was some satanic occult thing that happened as they developed Starbucks, and they got the recipe from Satan himself and the whole business plan. And like
I do know
and
people
they
who
are
would say they think the coffee's
putting-
been roasted in hell.
they are putting
It's pretty bad.
putting there's
Charbucks,
their
but-
locations on certain streets. Like maybe that's
ley lines.
maybe that's true, but I just
Or
don't
like
think.
the 6-7 thing. Like everyone around us is super excited about origin stories.
Yes, like I feel like that the enemy is happy to take our focus, off Jesus, even and off like living in the victory of his established and coming kingdom.
Yeah.
And I think if it's a miss for a Christian to don't be naive. Like if something's overtly occultic, let's not.
Like if there's
Engage
still,
it,
if the
yeah.
chicken
Engage.
blood is still drying on the side of it.
Yeah. Like if you walk through a pentagram with candles on it to purchase the thing, maybe ask a couple questions. Like
I'm just picturing like a pentagram on the floor made with like whatever chalk, candles at all 5 points, and then a sign over top that says "Order here."
yeah, I'll take a flat white, please. Yeah, like so. Obviously, use discretion, but
Right.
I just think if you start looking for a demon under every single rock,
You're going to find
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
You're gonna
Absolutely.
find
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think the danger in that is we are storytelling people. We
Right.
love stories. But when we get fixated on those because that's what's fascinating us, and then our eyes really start to fill with the darkness.
Totally.
Of it.
Yeah.
I think
It's-
that when we're filled with wonder or like we're repurposing stories for redemptive narrative, like C.S. Lewis did such a good job with Till We Have Faces, which was the Psyche and Cupid myth retold.
Yep.
I mean, it's a pagan myth,
Yeah.
but he repurposed it through a redemptive lens. Unbelievable.
Well, and his whole take would be even a pagan myth was scraping at something that is connected to the
Totally.
true myth.
Yeah,
Like
that's right.
there's truth
That's
in
right.
it,
Yeah.
and all truth ultimately comes back to the logos,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
That's right.
it's the
Yeah.
mind behind the universe.
Both Lewis and Tolkien too are great. Like there's creatures in both of their worlds, like Narnia and Middle Earth, that are like dwarfs don't come out of the Bible. Elves aren't a thing from the Old Testament. You know what I mean? Like
right.
so that idea of like using creatures from mythology somehow meaning you believe that mythology and that there's something demonic underneath that mythology that you've now aligned yourself with. Like I feel like you're going a little hard there.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're not fascinated enough with the mysterious and beautiful God.
Yeah,
Like if that's
totally.
the thing that's gripping your
Totally.
heart and satisfying that
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
for the
There
not
is
the
a
magical, the what's the word for it?
Enchanted.
Enchanted.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
when you're looking
yeah.
for something enchanted in all the wrong places,
Right.
Yeah,
you'll
there's-
find it.
It seems like there's it's soliciting a response that is actually antithetical to what the gospel should produce in us.
Yeah.
Like even the idea of like where Jesus says, the gates of hell will not prevail. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, so the implication is the kingdom of God is the one that's on the offensive and taking ground. The one on the defensive is the kingdom of darkness. But you have a lot of Christians that their whole, ideology, eschatology is this kind of defensive.
Yes.
We got to hold down the
Yes,
fort,
yeah.
protect ourselves, don't get left behind,
Right.
Yeah.
all that. And that's actually, it
Escapism,
goes
yeah.
against the whole thing that Jesus did as the firstborn of new creation.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a reference to a Greek myth. He was standing
Yeah,
probably in front of
was the gates of
the
hell.
gates of
Yeah.
hell. Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
right
We were
there.
there.
We went there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty neat. And like,
And that's where we make disciples, is at the gates of hell,
Yeah.
right? Like, because the kingdom of God is always advancing. And I think
right.
also like in the prayer movement or prayer culture, sometimes there can be such an emphasis on like spiritual mapping and finding the like principality, the territorial spirit.
Or even in healing ministry, like I've just got to find all of the roots of everything
and all the demons
right?
and all the, and we need to get its name and we need it. And no, you don't actually.
Every
Yeah.
sickness has a spiritual. I mean, it's not that none of those things are true. I just
Yeah.
think that we can lose the point.
Totally.
We can
Right.
miss
The forest for the
point.
trees,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I love when,
Totally.
like Jesus. Yeah, I mean, there's the one point where he asks them whatever their name, and they say they're legionnaire, but you never see him being like, "Does anyone in your family tree ever practice masonry?
Are you a water
Witchcraft? Is
spirit or the spirit of Python? Or like,
since we're getting pretty serious, I do have
Oh,
to
boy, here we
I
go.
do have to be juvenile and point out I thought it was hilarious that a woman whose whole thing was against the water kingdom looked like her hair was soaked the whole time. if you're just doing the audio only version, this woman looked like she had just stepped out of the
she was
shower.
stressed.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was
Sweat.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe that
Oh,
was it.
that much.
She's
But
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
man.
I think our vision, to go back to your point, I think our vision needs to be filled with the beauty of the triune God and the telos, which is heaven and earth becoming one.
Yeah.
And like wherever we go, the kingdom of God is embodied.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like the enemy cannot withstand the presence of the kingdom, the presence
And
of
we're
the kingdom.
made for mystical relationship with the Trinity.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
like
Can we talk about that? Like, can we focus on
Come
that?
on.
so much
I don't
more
care if you're a water
interesting
spirit
and
or a
riveting.
Unless you
Spirit.
drank a Starbucks, then you
Yeah.
ruin the whole thing.
If you roll that out though, like, okay, if we've been welcomed in to the union of the community at the center of the universe,
Right. And you don't
Through
blow
Christ.
up. And he comes to live in you and you
Yeah.
don't blow up.
well, like my assumption is if Jesus walked into Starbucks, he wouldn't be going, you know what? That looks like a mermaid. I'm out of here. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, I own you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He looked at a
Come
coin.
on.
He
He's like-
looked at a coin and
He's
said,
like-
"Give to Caesar what is Caesar's." And
Yeah.
there was a cult of Caesar worship. He wasn't like, "Don't
Yeah.
touch those."
Caesar
Yeah.
was seen as a god.
I think,
Right,
I think in
right.
Christ we should have a little bit more swagger, like just on like
on.
you know if maybe it is Lilith, I don't care. Like it's
Yeah.
like thank you Jesus, this coffee tastes good. Thank you for the beans that made it, Lord.
And bless the people that served it to me.
Yeah.
You know, get whatever you need to get through me today in this place.
Yeah.
I'm taking ground in this place. Like I think just whatever that mentality of like just being overly
Yeah.
cautious about everything.
Yeah.
It's
Or
just, that's not
obsessed.
Christian. Yeah.
It's
No,
not
it's not
just
Christian,
cautious.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of times it moves toward obsession, and I think
Yes.
it's satiating and
Yeah.
need to be fascinated in us.
And it also strips us of our authority, our
Yeah.
ability to walk in authority
right.
and power.
And then Hollywood wins again. Like the church is given the keys to the kingdom of
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah.
And the early church was given the ministry of driving out demons, like it was their job. And I just feel like through that lens, it just becomes sensationalized
Mm-hmm.
and scary and paranoid all over again. You move away from it instead of toward it with joy and hope.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
To what you were saying earlier, Brent, I feel like, people, they think their job as Christians is to stay safe.
Yeah.
And I think our job is actually to get dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Like
yeah.
to the wrong things, right?
Yes.
And if you'd like to get more dangerous, you can contact encounterculturene.com.
We'll make you real dangerous.
Yes.
No, genuinely,
Yes.
though,
True,
that whole
like-
The other thing that drives me up the wall with this stuff is when people, and I think in a weird way, not to disagree with what you were saying, Amy, but a weird way, this fascination shows how much we've succumbed to materialistic ideals. In that if we think a company is evil, it has to be because there's a demonic spirit on the cup, not because they're consumed with greed.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Yeah.
if Starbucks is evil, and I don't know if they are or not, but if they are, statistically speaking, it's probably
Greed.
around money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not around like their communion with the water kingdom. Have you ever heard that term before? The
I
water
don't,
kingdom?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I've heard of water spirits and stuff like that, but that's getting at a level
I've heard of water
nerdery
spirits,
that
but
I just
usually
have
in,
no
like,
interest in.
Pantheism stuff, right? Like where the mountain has a spirit and the beaver has a spirit. And
I just think that curiosity, and then there's
I'm
an
going to talk about that
infatuation.
tonight. We have a time machine. Come back to
So you're going to preach on that tonight?
There's an infatuation that we can get
Principalities and powers.
with like what we think to be secret information.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a level of it feels like we have some semblance of control if we know. You know, like I'm in a little more control. I'm aware. You know, like knowing is half the battle kind of thing.
I
feel
think
kind of judgy too.
judgy
It just
and
feels a
Gnostic.
little
Yeah.
Judgy.
It's super. Yeah, it's very Gnostic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not Christian at all.
I think there's a superiority thing in that too, right? Like we actually were going to talk a little bit about Gnosticism, so maybe we'll go there. But I do think there is a dynamic of that of people have to make up extra biblical stuff to be experts in, so they can be experts. You know what I mean?
Well, that was happening in like the church in Corinth, wasn't it? Where Paul's like, I think it's in Corinthians, where he's like, "Can we stop with the angel genealogies?
Yeah.
like this
Yeah,
is
the
just
endless
not
genealogies.
helpful."
Yeah.
So what was that even like? Who was developing? That was like the trend within their church, where they're like, and Michael and Gabriel, they do this, and like if the Bible doesn't give us those details, maybe we're just not supposed to know. Like,
Or at least it's not necessary.
I do think that word about just like safety and self-protection, preservation, like I think that should be an indicator on your dashboard. Back to C.S. Lewis, right? In the Chronicles of Narnia, and The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, when they first introduced, they're talking about Aslan, and Lucy's like, "Is he quite safe?" And Mr. Beaver's like, "He's not safe, but he's good."
Yeah.
That's one of my
If it's
favorites.
I like that. If it's raising the temperature of your anxiety, it's probably not the Holy Spirit leading you.
It's
in
not the
this,
fruit of the
in
spirit.
this
Anxiety is
conversation.
not the fruit of the spirit.
If, on the other hand, the thought of drinking demonic coffee fills you with love, joy,
Well, and
chug a lug, baby.
And to your point, I mean, Paul talks about that too. If it is causing you anxiety, don't drink the coffee.
I have this like hilarious picture in my head going back to the like "don't ask where your meat came from" thing.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like, and it's obviously not biblical because he's got a knife and a fork in this, but I'm just picturing like Paul sitting down eating a steak, and someone comes in and goes, "Oh, I think they got that steak," and he just goes, "Shh, shh, shh."
don't ruin this for me.
Don't ruin the moment.
Don't need to know, bro. This is a perfect medium rare.
Was sacrificed to Diana.
Well, let's talk about Gnosticism a little bit. That's a thing I know you guys have some knowledge, understanding about that no one else had. No, just
Oh
kidding.
no!
Little
secret
inside
knowledge.
joke,
Yeah, a
inside joke.
little Gnostic humor there.
But yeah, so the Gnostics were kind of a sect, or more accurately, a bunch of sects, sects within the early church that promoted, or they were kind of one of the wider spread kind of heretical groups. But could you guys maybe give us a quick overview of what Gnosticism kind of was historically, but then also my buddy and back corner alumni, Ben McDonald, Dr. Ben McDonald, always says, there's no new heresies. Where do you guys see that stuff cropping up in the lives of Christians or in churches today?
Yeah. I think historically Gnosticism was like a religious and philosophical movement. So you had basically these folks that believed in different tiers of divine spirits. And there was a divine spirit that was like in esoteric, like this esoteric kind of worldview, like they're out there apart from creation. And then there's this lower God that creates, and
The demiurge.
the demiurge, creates, and the material world is just filthy and horrible and disgusting. And so the idea is that in order to become fully spiritual, you need to eschew your physical reality in order to become fully spirit. And so anything that's physical is bad. So the God of the Old Testament is the demiurge, and the God of the New Testament is these disembodied spirits, divine spirits that are coming in order to rescue us and give us secret knowledge to escape the physical.
I think some of it makes a lot of sense to me, why you would want to prioritize the spirit over material things, because material things are experienced since the fall is that they die.
They decay.
Yeah. And so there is a sense that they must be of less value. I mean, and I remember hearing Sunday school teachers say that as a kid.
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, your body doesn't really matter. It's going to die.
Or you
It
hear
gets us out of the law of entropy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you even hear, preachers say you are a spirit trapped in a body.
Trapped. Yeah. That's
Right,
trapped in
right.
a body.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you just wait for the day when your spirit's released from this bag of bones, bag of meat.
And you'll fly away.
Yeah.
To a cloud.
Oh.
Be a disembodied
I will
spirit
say,
somewhere.
I don't want to steal any of your guys' thunder, but there is little whiffs of Gnosticism in Southern gospel.
Whiffs.
Oh man, it's all
I
over
think
the
that's
place.
served up on a silver platter.
Ain't gonna need this house no longer. Ain't gonna
Right.
need this house no more.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ain't got time to fix the shingles. Ain't got time. You're the
Wow,
descendant
that's
of a
so
gospel
good.
there, and you're not going to get in on this.
I don't know.
Really?
Nah. I've blocked a lot of that out of my
Your
mind.
ancestors are ashamed of you.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You broke that generational.
I broke the curse.
Yeah.
Don't speak so harshly
it had
about
its
the
place.
gospel.
I love the gospel airs. It's great memories. So
But, you know, N.T. Wright does a lot of good writing around this. Surprised by Hope is an excellent book where he basically says, you know,
I've got secret knowledge about hope, and you're going to be so shocked.
Yeah, it's so good that, you know, the goal isn't to fly away.
Yeah.
The goal is to be embodied for eons.
Yeah. Forever.
Forever and ever and ever. And we could talk about what that might look like, because that's kind of a fun thing to talk about. Like,
I do get people's, like, the idea of being in the body I'm in right now for all of eternity does not appeal to me in any way.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think I can see how people lack the nuance of, like, it's just in this or out versus a more comprehensive vision of renewal and restoration of creation, right?
And you can get one click off really easily, I think. Like one of the beautiful things that Christianity introduced to the world was the idea that you could control your bodily urges. Like, you don't have to sleep with anything that moves. You actually can
hold it.
Like,
we just stopped 20 minutes ago. We're not just
like, but there can be banks that are good for the sake of human flourishing for a river. But I think it's one click further that says, like, the urges themselves or the physical or the sensory, because they can, in unchecked addictive reality, lead to excesses and damage. They must just be bad. And I think you see it show up really early on in the church with, like, an incredible aversion toward sex. Things like that are just like,
sex is always evil.
Like Pope Gregory the Great actually said that he didn't believe there was any way you could have sex without sinning.
Wow.
Yeah. Pope St. Gregory.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that 6th century?
Sin
I could
for
walk
the,
him through it.
Sin for the sake of reproduction and then repent.
That's bold.
Yeah.
I'll talk him through
That's
it.
wild. Well, there is that, like, that you see you've heard language before of, you know, there are kind of two ditches as human beings we can fall into. It's, you know, seeing ourselves as angels, or, like, that's kind of the Gnostic sort of like that. Oh, we're actually spiritual beings,
Right?
And that's the goal, and that devalues the body and the actual incarnate part of us. And then the other equal and opposite error would be that we're animals.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't have a soul. We don't have a spirit. And so just give yourself to your base urges.
Right. But neither one of them lead to worship. Like, to drink a cup of coffee and to think, God, what a good idea.
Right. Right.
I mean, provokes us to worship because we're experiencing a sensory reality that is good.
Yeah. Well, that's that, like, it's really important. Like, the book of Genesis is very important. And those first few chapters are very important for framing in how we're supposed to interpret things. And, like, when it says, you know, God made man and woman in his image, and he breathed the breath, like the ruach, into him, and he became a soul, you know, like he became a living soul. Like, and that demonstrates that we are, like, the marriage of spirit and body. And, like, that's, and we're the one thing in creation that gets to be that, you know, like that. My dog, as great as he is, does not have the breath of God.
She's going to heaven.
Yeah, I think. We can talk about that in a second. I think. Well, let's table that one and talk about.
She might be resurrected.
Will our pets be with us in the end?
I'm voting for her to be ordained. Actually, she's been doing. She does a lot of ministry. It's the wildest thing.
I bet she'd be far more useful than a lot of ordained clergy out there. But
yeah, I forget what I was saying.
I think it's so important.
I was just picturing your dog.
I know.
With a collar.
We've been
his
joking about getting
pocket,
Kelly to
walking
sew her a
around.
little clerical collar.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is why you have to have a solid doctrine of the fall, because without the fall, we don't have an adequate way to explain the level of evil we experience. But also without the fall, the only way to explain that level of evil is that creation itself is innately evil.
Yeah.
So you have to have this something where it starts good.
Yeah.
That it's in that sense, like, originally innately good.
Yes.
But why is there so much jacked up stuff? Right? And if you don't have if it was bad from the beginning, then let's just burn it all and get out of here.
Yeah, but that's not the story.
Right, but that's not the story, and that's why
particular to human beings, it wasn't just good; it was very good.
Yeah.
Like, there was it was actual extra distinction.
once
of
Eve
goodness.
showed up.
Well, hey, absolutely. But yeah, it's that.
And the snake came down the tree and said to Adam, "How's your wife?"
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
hey. It's always hey, a nod and a wink. How's your wife? Yeah.
Well, so,
Don't let her vote.
Whatever you do.
I have
Don't
heard it
give
said
her the
that the
vote.
reason men shouldn't let their wives pick what they eat when they go out is because the first time we let a woman decide what we ate, it ruined the whole world.
I saw a Babylon Bee post today that said study confirms that 100% of men will eat whatever a naked woman hands them.
wow.
Like, okay.
That's so great.
I wonder if Adam was a Honeycrisp guy or a Cortland guy.
I think
or-
at that moment he wasn't
really
about the
care.
apple at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that whole idea of Gnosticism, though, I think it's baked into evangelicalism at
Yes.
a level
Totally
that
is.
people have just
Yeah.
no idea. I mean, we've railed on this a lot of the time on the podcast, but just like even a lot of the dispensationalist
Yeah.
approach to
Yeah.
Christian living is
Right.
it's
A pre-trib
It's-
rapture,
yeah,
all that
all
It's
that
all
stuff.
going to burn.
it's
Why,
all
why be
anchored in
invested?
kind of a Gnostic
Yeah,
ethos.
absolutely.
You know, it's not strictly Gnosticism,
Yeah.
but it comes from that same vein of this is all bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the goal is to get out of here.
Yeah, like God's going to rescue us from the world.
But I think
as
we're-
opposed to rescue the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a good point. Preach it.
I
So
will.
one of the yeah, you will. I think we're reaping the consequences of this as well in evangelicalism, in that we don't have a good theology of human sexuality and marriage.
For sure.
I think we really need to pay attention to John Paul II's theology of the body, which is something that we've been tracking with for about 20 years.
What's the
And-
Coles notes?
The what?
The Coles notes are like the
Cliff Notes.
Oh yeah,
Cliff
thank you,
Notes.
Coles. Yeah, was that a
Coles is
Canadian
here in
thing?
Canada. We call it Coles
Oh,
notes.
cool. Yeah. Well, the idea basically is that
Who's Cliff?
human beings are made in the image of God. The image of God is a community of love, and out from their ecstatic union, life comes forth. And so the idea of human bodies as male and female, John Paul would say that the image of God is written into the whole works, like the body of a female, the body of a male, giving, receiving, procreation.
Yeah.
So then Augustine would say that, that the first member of the Trinity is the lover, the second member of the Trinity is the beloved, and then the third member of the Trinity is the love between them.
Oh wow.
So male, female, and children
Yep.
is written into our very bodies. And so Roman Catholic theology really is steeped in what we would call natural law. So, but for us evangelicals, we reject natural law on some level in favor of a fundamentalist reading of Scripture. So we'd say, well, I don't see that in Scripture,
Right.
so we're not going to talk about it. And it's this real reductionism and just a narrow view of how we do theology and how we read Scripture, which is really too bad. Which gets back to your point, which is, all truth is God's truth. And the Roman Catholics would say God's nature and the way he created us is written into our bodies. Our bodies proclaim the good news. But we're reaping the consequences right now in evangelicalism because there's so much confusion around homosexuality, transgenderism, which I think transgenderism is like the pinnacle of a Gnostic
Yeah.
theology and philosophy.
You're trying to shed your body.
That's
in that
right.
Right.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. That
Preferring the spiritual.
the spiritual,
Yeah.
the unseen spiritual
my
reality
Yeah,
self.
to the unseen reality.
is more real than what my body proclaims.
Yep.
And real healing and sanctification looks like someone's internal reality coming into alignment with their body, being anchored in their physical reality.
Yes. That's huge.
It is huge. And the same thing with homosexual intercourse. Like homosexual intercourse does not create.
Yeah.
And so it can never fully image the triune life.
Right. Right. That's,
But even
that's
that-
bigger than the feelings of love and satisfaction.
Right,
Like,
absolutely.
it's like there's a
Yeah.
worship component there.
Even that idea of the image of God, too, like that line is from Genesis 1, where like God doesn't, in Genesis 2, God doesn't create Adam in his image and then later create Eve as a nice add-on.
Right.
It's in Genesis 1 where it talks about he creates male and female in his image.
Yeah.
And so that idea that you can't represent the image of God in that sense without male and female.
I think probably one of the most important things, we should circle back, but say that thing you said again about God's desire is to not save us from creation or from the world.
It's not to save us from the world, it's to save the world.
Yeah.
Like that, like use that as a bit of a lens to kind of put up against how you see the world, right? Because
That's right.
A lot of Christians do have that. Again, like that song, we made fun of it, "I'll Fly Away," but that actually goes against what Scripture actually proclaims.
I remember
totally.
going for a walk when my kids were little. I was like pushing someone in the stroller, and it was this stunningly beautiful New England day. And I remember praying and trying to figure out, because I had grown up in that kind of a mentality. I didn't think, oh, God, you loved the world and you're so committed to matter that there will always be a human in the Trinity.
That's right.
Like you're so committed
there's a body in
to the
Trinity.
physical
Forever.
reality. Like you are going to win.
Jesus will never not be a
Everything
man.
beautiful you made, you're going to win.
That's right.
Like death doesn't get the last statement over your creative, beautiful world. But I didn't know that. And I remember pushing a stroller. My kid was little and like seeing the wind in the trees, just being so riveted and grieved at the same time. Like, God, I don't know where to put this feeling of loving the beauty around me because I have been told you don't care about it.
Right.
Like you're
You want
just
it to
gonna
burn.
you're gonna burn it up anyway. It's all damaged beyond repair. So how do I invest in it? And we see that in the healing ministry as well, right? Like why should I pray for healing when this body's gonna die anyway?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So why
God
do I
doesn't care
feel
about it. He cares about your
invested?
soul most
For
of
no
all.
other reason, because you're going to be stuck in it until then.
But then
I know, but it's a different image.
even if I do escape it in 30 years, like I don't want those 30 years to suck, let alone, the
Well, that's
rest
true.
of all things.
But you were talking about like what is a lot of people don't want to be in this body, right? I mean, one of our
I'm happy to be in a body,
Right.
just not
Just
this
not that one.
particular one. This one hurts too much.
One of our very good friends, he was from Jerry, he's like in his 80s.
Yeah.
And he was born with like half arms.
Yeah.
And
Like
one
a
of
couple
my
of fingers on one hand and none on the
maybe
other.
like two.
Deformed.
Yeah. And he was like from a family of 12, like a French Canadian family or something. And he said one of my
where John Paul's theology of the body.
I had 12 kids. I know. Well, that's why we have 6. So there it is. Yeah.
His words, not ours. It was not John Paul that produced that reality. Our kids asked him why he didn't have fingers.
And he said, "Oh, well, it's because of incest."
I wasn't referring to his fingers. I was referring to his 11 siblings.
Oh yeah.
Easy answer. My
He
parents
was said
were
there was a
siblings.
generational curse of incest for like back with my great granddaddy.
That's incredible.
And my kids were like, "Incest? What's that?" I was like, "Okay, Jerry, we're gonna."
the one time a kid who is like, you gotta love how honest kids are on their reactions, but then they meet the one person that's just gonna
Just
be
as
even more
honest.
No, I know, it's so good. But he told me, he was like, "I don't want this body," and I said, "Jerry, I totally understand that, and I think your body's gonna be recreated, but it's gonna be recreated like Jesus's body was transfigured.
Yes.
Where like they didn't fully recognize him on the road to Emmaus or Mary Magdalene. Like there was something different about him.
Double and triple take.
Yeah. And he could eat and walk through a wall, and the food stayed in.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't like on the floor. And I think so so I probably will have a 6-pack. I mean, we're gonna have to work for it or do carnivore for it.
Do you guys put an ask on like beautiful places sometimes?
An ask?
Yeah, like in the millennial reign.
Yeah. So sometimes when I go places, I'm like, God, if no one's called this yet.
I want
If
this.
if this isn't somebody's reward and like this
I'm gonna
is
build a
I'm
cabin
thinking
on
way
this.
bigger than you guys. I'm thinking way
You're
bigger.
thinking
What
planets?
you
Yeah.
want a planet?
Not, not in a Mormon kind of way, but in like we're gonna terraform the universe. And
Yes,
so
we are.
I may like.
Where are we going to
spend-
put all these
Dude,
people that have lived
hey,
throughout
I
all
didn't
of
even
human
think
history?
about doing this.
But I mean, just think about this.
Justin,
if
do
we're gonna be
I was
living,
just like
Do we
Dan
just become best
Moscata.
friends?
yeah, we did. Yeah, dude, we're gonna like talk about this for a little while
Do you guys
here.
want to have neighboring
I'm
planets?
Dude, honestly, if we think we're going to be living for trillions and trillions of years.
I've legit said to God, I will have Yellowstone Ranch for at least 1,000 years.
Absolutely.
I don't say that confidently, but I'm like, if no one else has asked, and it's not a
she's so
problem,
humble.
can I have?
Now you got to name it and claim it, baby.
You can take 1,000 years.
Maybe there can be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than
All
one.
right,
Maybe there can be
all
more
right.
than one, too.
No, but I think we do need
Right.
to imagine that way.
I think we need to
Absolutely.
think that way. That's what I mean by that.
So,
like,
so this leads me to a question I was thinking of before, but ties into this too. The question was going to be, do you think the general human trend, which is ancient, but we're seeing it at a high level now, towards urbanization, somehow contributes to our sense of the plausibility of Gnosticism, because the world we want to inhabit is a world we had to reshape or fix or form or make into our own thing? And which connects to what you guys were saying. I'm not a big nature person. Like, I'm one of those, like, yeah, that's a tree and it's a nice tree. Like, not that I can't appreciate it, but like, you know, I think mentioned this before. My dad, you know, always claimed to be a hunter, but I always said he was an armed hiker.
Yeah.
Because he would take his Bible and go just sit under a tree and read his Bible and pray for 8 hours, and the deer could have come out and bit his boot and he wouldn't have known, right? Because he just loved the outdoors like that. And I'm
You gotta
like,
watch out for those deer bites.
yeah, I'm like, give me a cathedral somewhere, right? To sit, like, literally
Yeah.
a cathedral. I'll
Oh,
just,
yeah.
you know, people are like, nature's my cathedral. I'm like, cathedrals are my cathedral.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you read the description of the new creation, like the new heavens, the new earth, it sounds very urban and also very garden.
Yeah. And also
Like,
very
it's-
weird because it's a cube.
Yeah,
I've always found that
I'm not sure.
strange.
I'm not sure the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's
like
a
not
actual
literal.
architecture.
Yeah, I
but-
don't think it's an architectural drawing.
Yeah, but like it does imply.
Can you
like,
imagine you get to heaven and you got to live on the like 900th floor? It's just all high rise.
You're in the Z wing.
You have an inside cabin. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see jack squat. You just,
yeah, all the
gosh,
sweet
that's
little old
horrible.
ladies in your church have the patio
penthouse,
views.
Yeah.
yeah. What's the, you know, when the people say, no, it's not in my father's home there are many mansions. It's in my father's home there are many rooms. It's literally
Yeah.
just one big house.
One.
Just
Yeah.
it's
Please,
a giant
Lord,
board
no.
cube from
No,
Star
I
Trek.
think we're gonna have time, and I think our wants will shift too, though. Like I think the things we think we want versus what we will actually want are probably not going to be perfectly lined up.
Again, and maybe if I was bigger nature buff, but I just have a hard time imagining, and I realize this, you know, we're putting space on a thing that doesn't occupy space the way we think of space with God. But like the idea that there's a throne and angels are bowing down in front of it, but there's also like a really nice tree over there. And I'm going to be like, you know what, God, I'm just going to catch you. I'm going to just go over and check out this tree for, like, I feel like I'm just going to be dialed in
I do
there.
think we can't fully fathom the glory of God, and like in the person of Jesus especially. So I think we'll be pretty into him.
Oh, yeah.
But like there is a big part of me that, like, I watched the end of Infinity War. I could totally get behind what Thanos had there after he snapped his finger and he just lived in that little shack on his own planet.
Oh, yeah.
And had a garden. Like his helmet and swords kind of put away, and he's just by himself sitting on his porch. I could do that for
Did
a
we talk
thousand.
about
I'd do
that?
1,000 years of that.
Was it on here that I was in a conversation recently? I really get to remember what we talked about. And the whole idea of like laying our crowns down before the Lord came up. Was that here?
Maybe. I forget. I get people come up to me all the time saying, "Oh, I love when you talk about the podcast." Like, I have no recollection.
Yeah, totally.
It was cathartic.
I love that thing you said about, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, these conversations, which I mean is kind of the point. There's not supposed to feel like a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
like
We're just talking.
right, but it is like, it's like I can't separate like the conversation we had in the prayer room before church from the thing we discussed in the lobby before. But this idea of laying down our crowns before the Lord in heaven, like there's this picture, and I this idea, it never occurred to me before, but generally people, I think, interpret that as like laying down our kingdoms, or even like submitting our I say autonomy, but you know what I mean? Like we're submitting to the King of Kings as kings or whatever. But this idea came out of like a final admission that he should be in charge and we shouldn't. Like more of a resignation than an offering. Like, no, I'm out. Like, no, absolutely, you should be in charge, kind of thing. Now, what do you do with us all laying our crowns down before him, with us also reigning with him? I'm not sure, but
Yeah. I don't,
mixed metaphors, baby.
Yeah,
Are there
I think
other places?
I think it's definitely a mixed metaphors. Yeah.
To get ourselves back on track here a little bit with Gnosticism, because I'd hate to lose our thread there. Are there other places? I mean, you've mentioned kind of some of the human sexuality kind of conversations. Are there other places you guys see Gnosticism kind of cropping up in the church that we haven't covered?
Well, I think that in the charismatic movement, there is a Gnostic stream that, where like material doesn't matter. And I think matter really does matter.
Yep. It's in the name.
It's in the name. Matter matters. And so like the sacramental reality.
Literally a line from my sermon tonight.
Okay, matter matters.
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's great. So we're on the same stream here.
So finish that thought. I got
No, I was just saying, a sacramental worldview. So as if you're in the Wesleyan tradition or Anglican tradition, there is this sacramental worldview that is literally just matter matters, that God can use material as conduits or means of grace they're like foretastes and kisses of heaven.
It was always meant to be that way.
It was always meant to be that way, right? It was always meant to be received in thanksgiving and given back to God in worship.
Right.
And that's what communion is. That's what baptism is. Those are the two like sacramental rites that we receive.
So
from Jesus.
here's where my brain is going on this. So this idea, again, I spent a lot of time with Catholics, and one of the things that has been helpful for me with that is just doing a little more to obliterate the hard distinction between the spiritual and the physical. Mm-hmm. But I think of the idea, however you want to work it, of kind of the real presence of Christ in the communion elements, in the Eucharist. Mm-hmm. And then my brain goes, Brent, to what a thing you've been speaking into a lot in our church lately, this idea of all of creation being filled to all the fullness of God. And you bring those two ideas together, and in that, the sacrament is a foretaste of
new creation
because it is matter filled with God.
I've been super infatuated with that idea since I read, have you guys read N.T. Wright's book on Ephesians?
No, but I've been listening to it though. Yeah.
Dude, but in it, like he doesn't say it in these words, but like just like having a vision of God's purpose for creation to be filled with all the fullness of the glory of God. Like thinking about that even like on a molecular level. Like there's not an atom in the universe that's not going to be filled to the full measure. Mm-hmm. And it's such a shift in how you see materials.
Absolutely.
Like that this is a space for the glory of Christ to actually the whole thing was meant to be a temple.
Yes.
Like the whole creation was meant to be a temple that held the glory of God.
And on that molecular level. Not the empty space in between all the stuff is created, but the stuff itself.
The beauty of the gospel, though, is like in Christ, he has redeemed and resurrected and even inaugurated that new creation. Mm-hmm. And that temple is expanding in and through the church.
Yes.
But it's not going to be limited to the church. Like it's going to fill the cosmos, like in its entirety, which is just an incredible thought.
I think it almost tidally circles back to our Starbucks conversation.
Right.
Like
it does.
this
Yeah.
paranoia about
I love a good callback.
The physical world.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus did things that most of my Protestant friends would be very uncomfortable with. Yeah. Because I think we were all taught, you don't want to think too much about the physical.
Yep.
Like, you don't want to worship it. You don't want to turn it into something idolatrous.
Totally.
But Jesus, let his robe heal people.
Yeah.
His spit healed dirt.
I know.
Healed people.
He just
Like it was
wasn't
a
playing the same
conduit
rules.
of his. He wasn't.
No.
But he wouldn't. We believe he was pointing towards this reality that heaven and earth really were coming together. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
and
and
we're
if-
meant to be together from the beginning.
Yeah.
If your understanding is that this is a line from the sermon I will have preached at revival nights, the material world is not an evil prison to be escaped, it's a fallen paradise to be redeemed.
Yeah.
Like if your understanding is that it's an evil prison to be escaped, then Jesus using those things is why, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're like, no, he's redeeming all of it.
Yeah.
The
Right.
dirt, the
Right.
spit,
Right.
all of it. So this is just him doing a little piece of the whole
Right.
job.
And we can fall into that other, the trench on the other side of this narrow, beautiful way,
Yeah.
which is a genuine idolatry of the created world.
Yes,
right? Where we're
right.
like, I
Back to
need
the-
physical comfort. I need those things,
Yeah.
and I elevate them up above my neighbor's good or
The
loving
language that N.T. Wright uses that's really stuck with me in that book is like, he's like, the church, Christians are meant to be little working models of new creation.
God.
Yeah.
Eden. We are
Like,
little Edens.
yeah, we're like little Edens.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
not perfect. Like there's still much to be filled and subdued and multiplied.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like God's new creation has this foothold in my body and in my mind and my spirit and in my family and in my church. And like
Yeah.
that's supposed to recapture the commission that God gave humanity in the first place. Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have
Absolutely.
dominion over it.
Yeah, yeah.
He uses a term I really, really like in The Day the Revolution Began.
Yeah.
He calls it rehumanization.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you're becoming what
rehumanizing us.
humans were always meant to
Yeah.
be, and that now Eden is in you and advancing through
Totally.
you.
I think
Yeah.
you said, Amy, when you were on the last one, you talked about like Jesus is the most human that's ever,
Yeah.
that's ever existed.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Jesus, his body on the cross is, when we talk about mattering, if there was no physical body on the cross, we could not be saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to become everything that we are so that we might become everything he is,
Yes.
St. Irenaeus. And I think that is so important. And then For the Life of the World, who wrote For the Life of the World?
Alexander Schmemann.
Schmemann, an Eastern Orthodox theologian.
That doesn't sound like a real name.
Yeah.
It is
Schmemann,
a real
Schmemann.
name,
Yeah.
and it's a
Schmemann, good
stunning.
time.
It's a
It's
little
a stunning
book.
For the Life of
So
the
good.
World. It's all about sacramental worldview. It is so glorious.
Eastern Orthodox.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Really,
he
really
basically
beautiful
says
sacramentology.
that the church is the sacrament of the kingdom. That
Every
we
little
No, go for it, yeah.
Olivier Clement. I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know if he pronounces it the French way or if it's Olivier
Clemente,
or
I
something.
believe we
But
say.
he said like every human being is every believing human being, every regenerate
Yeah.
human being is the threshold between heaven and earth.
yes.
It's like we become this liminal space
Yeah,
of
working models of new
Yeah.
creation.
Come on.
yeah.
Please, Lord, let it be so.
I know.
So the Gnostics were kind of a sect, as we mentioned, within early Christianity. I wanted to talk a little bit about maybe not heretical sects, but sects
with a T?
SECT.
Because we were talking
We were
about
talking about
sex.
sex
Yes.
with an X.
Yeah. So some people think all sex is bad. Some people think all sects are bad. But
Which
If you're a Gnostic,
I'm more in
air
favor of the
quotes, Christian.
former, less in favor of the latter.
you're just against division in general. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of maybe breakaway churches and denominations, a little bit of that in our modern world. There's been a lot of drama lately in the Anglican Communion over the
yes.
election of a female Archbishop of Canterbury and the role that is the visible head of the worldwide Anglican Communion. Many branches of Anglicanism do not support women's ordination to the priesthood, let alone to Archbishop. In addition to this, she's seen as at least more liberal than many Anglicans worldwide are comfortable with. And so there have been shots fired and lines drawn and alliances clarified. And this situation, along with the recent split of the ironically named United Methodists, have raised a couple of questions for Christians in denominations. Thought maybe we could wrestle with a few of those. The first is, if you see your local church or denomination headed in a direction you think is theologically or morally unsound, are you better off to stay and be salt and light or get out? And if you do get out, should you try to take other people with you so as to protect them from that false teaching, or leave quietly so as not to cause division?
wow.
Because I know,
Yikes,
I know
AJ.
people who
Put my
would
head in the
say,
sand on this
I
one.
know.
if all
wow.
and again, I'm talking in theological terms, not political terms, if all the conservatives leave,
Yeah, there's no salt. If
The
you rinse
liberals
all the
win.
salt out of the system, any system, if you
Yeah.
rinse all the salt out of any
Yeah.
system,
but at the same time, if the salt has lost its saltiness, right? So
exactly.
Absolutely.
That may be your answer.
I think that's the answer. And this isn't just because I'm an Enneagram 8 and I like to fight. I really do like to fight. I'm a justice guy.
yeah.
And I grew up in a liberal church.
Okay.
Like a real liberal church. And I would be in a very different spot now if I had stayed. And I think, speaking to my friends who have stayed in crummy churches with crummy theology that is not glorious and beautiful, they want to stay
Horizontally based.
it's all, there's no vertical their theology is not based in like the
existence of
mysterium
God.
trementum. Thank you. Yeah,
That's right.
It's
right.
all it's zeitgeist. It's just spirit of the age. How are you feeling? How am I feeling? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean we ignore that, but that does not direct our theology. I would say absolutely get out. I've never ever seen people who stayed behind in a crummy theological space
Survive for a long
survive or
time.
make any kind of difference because in reality, there's already compromise inside of them.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference between that and kind of wet wood environments where you're like, oh man, I really want to see these, I want to see more activity, or I want my church to be more missional, or
We had a youth group.
I wish we had it.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think there's a real difference between I want my church to meet all my needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to go on mission with Jesus with a little bit of courage in my own neighborhood or whatever. I think there's a huge difference between that and full blown, we've left the beauty of the gospel behind.
Yeah.
We no longer, you can hold out for a while, but truly bad company corrupts good
Yeah.
character.
The
And you
difference
end up
between-
compromising
You
to
will
get
fall
along.
asleep.
You will fall asleep.
Yeah.
And you make little compromises for the sake of peace over time.
Yeah.
Or you're just a disruptor, but you're not bringing about change. And I would say you really need to listen to the Holy Spirit on that one.
What I was thinking when you were talking there, Amy, was kind of the difference between lethargy and apostasy.
Yes.
Like if a church, if
Yeah.
you're going like, I would love to see, even if you're going like, and I'm willing to be part of making it happen, but I'd love to see this church more alive, more vibrant, more
Yes,
effective,
yeah.
whatever. Like that's not a bad thought to have if your church is just phoning it in.
Right.
But that's a different thing than, no, they're phoning it in and Jesus is not the one on the other end.
Right.
of
I
the
think we
line.
want
Gaia is
Gaia.
on the other end.
Starbucks.
Lilith.
Starbucks is on the other.
Yeah.
It's Lilith.
Yeah. I think I love what you said, Justin, about like the compromise. There's already got to be some of that in you. Because at some point, if nothing else, you've said, and again, I'm a big church unity guy, do a lot of like
Yeah.
ecumenism kind of work, but at some point you have decided that the organizational cohesion
Yes.
is a higher priority
right.
than even your understanding of God himself.
That's
right.
Let alone even
Yeah.
what you're doing in terms of ministry or mission or
That's right.
whatever.
Right.
And so at some point you've prioritized and you couldn't even call it church unity, because if you have a disagreement on that fundamental theological
Yeah.
issue, you may be still, your name might still be on the list, but there's not meaningful union, right? Like when Jesus prayed that we would be one so that the world might believe, he didn't just mean like we'd all have the same headquarters,
Right.
office or whatever.
And obviously, it's difficult to determine what those central. There are a lot of groups that splinter over things that we would say
Yeah, it's not-
that wasn't a central reality.
that's
like
right.
that wasn't close enough to the center to merit splitting off.
Yeah.
Like preacher rapture or something.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I
really,
think-
are we
yeah, I
gonna
can-
all?
I think we've talked about this on here
drinking.
quite a while ago. But the idea too of the things that split churches and the things that split denominations are often very different. Like I don't know of a lot of examples of in recent history of denominational splits over trivial issues, but churches will split over like
Yeah. The
who
craziest.
voted for who for the third associate pastor from the left kind of stuff.
Or the
Like,
carpet.
Part of that
or,
scale, part of that's just pure scale. Like I've even noticed in our church, like I don't want to have too much hubris here, but we're big enough now that one power family is not going to come in and push their weight around. But if you're at a church of 100 people,
Oh yeah.
and you have one disproportionately influential person, they can really
That's one
stir
of the
crap up.
One of the things I often tell church planters is like, don't allow yourself to need anyone
Totally.
in your church. You can need someone, but don't need any specific person, because it'll cause you to compromise on some, even if it's not a big moral issue. But if you go, man, I could not do this without them, then when they want to push the church, even if it's just a strategic thing, in a direction that it shouldn't go, you feel like you're choosing between compromise and non-existence versus compromise and stay in the course. So
I think when it comes to deciding whether to leave a church or even a denomination, it is a really hard, delicate conversation to have. But orthodoxy has to be like You know, if your church has a rainbow on it, I'm sorry, like,
Yeah.
it's compromised. Like, that is the international sign of church decline, in my
Unless
opinion.
it's in the nursery and it's over an ark.
Yeah, yeah. If it's got a flag on it,
That's
like,
the
I'm-
one part that I'm not suspicious of.
you know, so like Orthodox, if you go to a church that like it's not biblically based,
Yeah.
it's not
And it makes no attempt to be.
Yeah,
It
and-
kind of makes a mockery of an awful lot.
totally. And then with that biblical basis, I think there should be evidence of a heart that is both Great Commandment and Great Commission
Yes.
oriented, right?
Yes,
like our
absolutely.
hearts are to love and glorify God, you know, and enjoy Him forever with our mind, body, soul, and strength, and also love our neighbor as ourselves. And it's not just loving our neighbor by doing nice things for them, like legitimately, you know, sharing and spreading the gospel, seeing people converted.
Yes.
Like, we're here for a serious purpose, you know. So like if you go to a church that like nobody's ever experiencing Jesus for the first time or in a fresh way, I'm not sticking around. Like I want to be where the life is. I want to be in a community, not perfect, but pursuing like legitimate
I like that
kingdom
turn of phrase.
expression, right? There's no perfect church.
No,
like,
but
there's
that
good
idea of-
ones.
there are churches that are imperfect and not pursuing.
Right.
So what would you guys say about the incorporation of the third member of the Trinity?
The Holy Spirit?
Yeah. Like how?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, that I didn't finish my list,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like, you know, the biblical basis, like, and then I think, yeah, the gifts, I think need to be embraced and evidenced. I think that the fruit of the Spirit needs to be evidenced. You know, and it's not to say with people you're not going to get the
Yeah.
flesh as well. Like, you're going to get lots of that, but you're also like, I wouldn't want to go to a church that doesn't have people who, you know, are anointed, and you have people who have different gifts that God has given them, like being expressed. Like, those are gifts. Gifts are good things. Like, that's stuff that I want to enjoy, and frankly, I need, right? So,
I think there's a difference too in how you handle. If you're a part of a church that is heretical, you should leave. And I don't think it's the worst thing to at least share with the people close to you your reasons.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to try to create a big fight, but to say like, here's the issue. But I also think if you're in a church that is Orthodox, but just a different Orthodox than you, like one of the things that always drove me nuts as a pastor is somebody will come in, you know, churches I've been a part of have always been from a more Arminian tradition. And you get some guy who comes in and they're like, you're not a 5-point Calvinist. And you're like, no, we never claimed to be. That's not a thing. And they're like, well, we need to get some better. And it's like, no, dude, no, that's not, like, read the room. That's not where you are. And so I think, you know, if that's the situation, if you just, and maybe it's even a church you grew up in, but your theology has changed, again, within the ditches of Orthodoxy, I think it's acceptable, at least, if not healthy, to quietly bow out.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a line you cross there when you're fighting over things that aren't a question of orthodoxy.
Yeah.
That are just a question of maybe very significant personal. I don't just mean personal convictions like, you know, what rating of movie are you allowed to watch, but you know, where you come down on the interplay between sovereignty and free will, or where you come down on predestination, or
Because I mean, isn't that the thrust of 1 Corinthians 13? Like, you can fathom all mysteries. You can be the most right.
you can prophesy and speak.
You
in
can be
tongues.
the most orthodox and be wrong.
yeah.
Because
I
you've
think-
never been able to actually genuinely love.
A better answer for your question, though, on like the welcoming of the Holy Spirit, I think if a church is doing that priority of the Great Commandment and Great Commission,
Yeah.
they're gonna fall
They're
in love
gonna-
with,
they're gonna
and they're
fall
gonna
in love.
need for the
They're gonna
commission
come
part.
on.
You're
Yeah.
gonna need them
Yeah.
anyway.
No, amen. Man, this is like, I don't know if this is prophetic or not, but but I just been seeing
This is a new segment we can do, prophetic or pathetic.
Yeah. But I've seen like a sifting in the body of Christ. People are saying, "Oh, church attendance is way down in the West. It's way down."
Maybe at yours.
Okay, maybe at yours.
No, for real. That's
Right. No.
Sifting and consolidation.
There's a sifting and consolidation happening. Yes.
Pruning, one might even
Pruning. Yeah, it's absolutely. And I think that we're seeing it. We've seen it with the mainliners and the liberal church, air quotes here. And I think now we're moving into a sifting. Yeah, I think we're moving into a sifting of the fundamentalist cessationist expressions, where there's been a worship of an unholy Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Book.
Yeah, for sure.
There is not a worship of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. He is the Lord and giver of life. 2 Corinthians 3, right? Like the Lord is a spirit, and where the spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And it always comes down for me. It's like, does your community expect the presence of? Do you host the presence of God?
Totally.
Do you even know what that means to host the presence of God? And I think, and that's not a judgmental statement. It's like, no, are you craving God's presence in a manifest way?
Listen, when
it doesn't mean you have to speak in tongues. Just you expect He's going to show up in some way.
When you are familiar with the presence of God, like I won't name names. I've spoken in a variety of places across Canada this year, and I mean, you guys travel too. Like, not all environments. Like, you walk into some spaces and you're like, oh, He's here and He's been here.
Yeah.
And then you walk into others, like, I don't know what this is.
To do a
Like,
really odd callback.
This feels dead.
Oh.
To do a really odd callback, it's like that church basement smell.
Yeah.
Like you go in,
the
you're
spirit. Like,
yeah, He's here.
Yeah.
And it could be, I've smelled Him
or
in
the
Catholic
opposite.
environments, in very like low church environments. But yeah,
you can go into spiritually dank places too, where it's just
but that's
like,
what I'm saying. And sometimes
there's
you
a
like brown
funk in
paper
here,
towels.
and the wind wind of the spirit needs to clear this.
but you walk in and you go like the
air out.
The shape of the room, literally and figuratively, is the same. But you're like, no, He's not here.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think there's I will say, because we do travel a fair amount, that I experience a difference between resistance to the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Like, we don't want that here.
Yes.
And just unfamiliarity,
Yes. Big time.
or some suspicion and a little bit of like, we've been burned before, and maybe we've erred on a pastoral kind of leaned into the pastoral a little far, but we're willing to be led by God. So it's not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I can cite all of these supernatural things that are happening. Maybe our pastoral edge is a little overflexed because we've seen some abuses or things like that. I think there's a real difference between
Big
that
time.
that still has humility before the Lord on it and outright resistance.
Yeah, it's like there are some environments or communities or churches you go into where it's like, okay, it doesn't feel like the manifest presence of God is really like here, but the door's open.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I love those. I love those.
Oh,
churches.
absolutely. This is easy. Like, you're open to this, he'll come.
No, I feel like that's my
but then
jam.
you go into
That's
some,
my jam.
You go into some though, and it's like, no, they've locked the doors and put up shutters, and like
we have a woman that works with Encounter Ministry, and she lives down in the southern part of the U.S. in a very Christian area.
Right.
Very, very, very
Culturally
densely
Christian.
culturally Christian. And she and another woman that are part of our ministry were talking to me last couple weeks ago, and they were saying they're meeting with a woman who runs a crisis pregnancy center, and she's bringing women to faith, but none of the white evangelical churches in their region want them. So they don't have. So we were encouraging them to start planting a church because there's no room for a little bit of mess.
That's so crazy.
They can't deal with it.
They can't handle a mess.
It's infuriating to me.
And they were
It's
going
frustrating.
through the list of everything within an hour drive of their home. And this, I mean, already the people coming through the crisis pregnancy center don't have a lot of mobility. And they said there's just not a church in the area that would extend real, genuine welcome.
Yeah.
We had a guy chaplain come to the church that I led in Halifax, and he worked with recently released sex offenders.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, we got a guy who's looking for a church to come to. Could he come to your church? And I'm like, he's in programs, he's getting help, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I mean, I should let my board know.
Yeah.
Like I should talk to them about
right.
that. That's a big step to take, to intentionally invite that. But when I sat down with my board, I just went, look, here's the guy, here's the situation, here's all the safety protocols we have in place, both for him and for us. I always used to say we worked with a lot of sex offenders, and I always say, you know, the thing I have in common with you is that we're the two kinds of people that if someone makes an accusation, everyone assumes it's true, right? Like pastors and registered sex offenders. But anyway, it's
so
true.
true. Oh,
True. But I said to our board, I said, this is a choice we get to make, whether or not we're going to welcome this guy or not. I mean, he was a Christian. He'd given his life to Christ in prison, kind of a thing. I said, but if we say no, then the next item of business on our agenda should be how we're going to close the church, because we are saying the gospel doesn't work for him.
Right.
And if it doesn't work for him, how the frig do we know if it works for any of the rest of us, right? And there was like this, not hard, like just this gut check, like, okay. We went around the circle and it was just unanimous. Yeah, it boggles my mind. Like, to me, unless someone was an immediate physical danger to other people.
If they're a danger to other people, we'll figure out some other way to serve you.
And exactly. And even then, it's
that
not,
usually looks like prison ministry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or here's we're gonna do a service just for you.
We had
Or a
situations
small group
with
or
a few other people.
Yeah.
We've had situations where, it was that. It was like, look, dude, like, there's 5 people who come to our church who all have restraining orders against you. So no, you can't roll in on Sunday morning and just plunk down wherever you want.
Right.
But here's 3 guys that'll meet with you every week.
That's right.
We'll serve you.
Yeah, we'll build a small group around you
That's
and
right.
your needs. And
Yeah.
that stuff boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Churches can stink.
yeah, they can.
But they can also be beautiful.
Oh man, can they
so
ever?
beautiful.
I think that'd be my to put a bow on it. Like, I think if someone's wrestling through it, it's, man, just go where there's some semblance of either kingdom life or desire for kingdom life. That stuff bothers me. What we were just talking about. Also, when there becomes an overcommitment to the viability and the maintenance of the machinery and the industry. Like, that's what ticked Jesus off so much when he went to the temple. He's like, this is supposed to be a healing place. This is supposed to be a giving place. And it's now a den of thieves. It's gotten inverted. And that's what happens. That's why I hate the government. We don't think the government, no, legitimately.
I know it
grows,
just sounds like it's going to go into just a broad.
No, it's like institutions, they naturally will grow
Self-protect.
inverted and self-protect mode.
Right.
And like, that's not Jesus.
Right.
Like,
Right.
he's the self-emptying one.
Right.
And like, but the church,
Right.
the church
about
so
that. It's
easily
horrible.
flips into this kind of mode that the world gets into, where it's like, okay, like, you know, we've been to those churches, like, you know, you get the feel like, oh, if you don't serve and you don't give, then we're screwed. You know, like, that's not the invitation.
Yeah.
Like I don't give so that we can keep the lights on. I give out of worship.
It's not the most sacred sounding metaphor, but I've always thought of it like a poker game. And your job as the church, particularly if you're a pastor, is just to keep pushing all the chips into the middle of the table.
No matter how many chips you have.
You just
on.
keep betting it all on Jesus. And then you win. And you rake it all back and you get your next
But
hand.
it's tempting every time you rake it all
It
back.
is,
It's tempting
But
and
it's-
human.
And the
It's
bigger the
tempting.
pile gets, the harder it actually is to push in
risk it
everything.
again.
Exactly, though,
Yeah.
that principle Jesus talked about. If you try to save your life, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
And if you try, like, the people
Yeah.
who try to keep the chips lose their chips.
Right.
Yeah.
And the people who
True.
take a spirit-led gamble,
True.
risk, and push it all into the middle over and over again on Jesus, like, worst case scenario, they go down in a beautifully redemptive blaze of glory. Like, I'm not saying your church could never close. I don't know that it's God's divine will for every local congregation to exist for all of time. But I will say that the odds of losing it by betting it are way lower than the odds of losing it by. That's the parable of the talents, right?
Right.
Like, we'll just bury our chips and keep them safe, right?
Right. No,
You
I-
should have risked it.
So we love stories. Like, I love stories. I love
I
sitting
got
around
one
and
about the
telling.
time I was constipated. If you're interested, no, just kidding.
You need some
like that
crab
comes up a
apples.
lot.
I feel like there are crab apples
you
in your
know.
lunch today.
High fiber SSRIs, they do a number on a guy. Or high protein.
Like, we really love stories. We love to sit around and, like, remember when God did that.
Yeah.
Remember when we prayed for that person and that happened. That a really good story always has an element of risk. And I would say if the church has no good stories, it's time for some stories. And that should be a really good gauge for if we can't sit around and talk late into the night about the stupid stuff we've tried for the kingdom of God. At best, you're boring.
Yeah.
And at worst, you're truly wasting your life. You've got 80 years, maybe if you're strong, to live by faith.
And you're not actually partnering and experiencing God and what He's about on the earth.
I want to tell my kids stories. I want my kids who are living in a world where I just remember they were so obsessed with Marvel when they were small, and getting to tell them, like, no, I've seen God do things that are
super.
And I've seen power of God go through my hands. Yeah. I've experienced supernatural things that don't make sense. Like, we worship a God that Marvel can only imitate.
Yeah, it's just pointing towards the true myth, right?
Yeah.
On that thought of like self-preservation and protection, like I think that's been a bit of a theme through this whole podcast. I remember when we were early days of COVID, when like we were, a couple months in of when not
it was
meeting.
Always winter, never Christmas.
Yeah, truly. But I remember walking my puppy and dialoguing with God, and just like I remember saying to Him, like, God, how are we going to save the church? Because there's nobody coming. How are we going to like keep this thing open? Like, is the whole thing just coming to an end? God, how are we going to save the church? And God said, I'm not trying to save the church. I'm trying to use the church.
Come on.
That's so
You
good.
know, like, so I'm not trying to preserve it. I'm giving it.
COVID was such a live wire of opportunity too. And I mean, I don't know if I told this story last time, but one of my, can I tell a story?
Absolutely.
A COVID story?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Lord is still healing the trauma in our circles anyway, because people just went in all sorts of different directions with that moment.
So much weirdness.
Oh my gosh. So it was deep COVID. I mean, like deep. And we had some tradesperson that came to the house to fix something. I don't remember what it was, but he showed up. I mean, true blue New Hampshire, Carhartts from head to toe.
I like it.
Mid-50s. I mean, this guy probably had never shed a tear in his life.
Mid-50s, even if he was only 25.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Smoked 4 packs a day. And so he showed up.
That's what too many winters will do to you.
And I'd had an experience with the Lord regarding COVID really early on. And I guess I'm stepping out a little bit of a limb to say that. But I had experienced, and this is not everyone's experience. And I think that we walk in what the Lord's calling us to. So this is a little risky to even say. But I had an experience with the Lord, and the Lord was like, do not live scared.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
And he demonstrated it multiple times. Like, you do not live by the hand sanitizer God.
Yeah.
This is not, you have to love in this moment.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but like, that's where I am. So he shows up at the house, and I opened the door, and I reached out to shake his hand. I was like, hey, thanks for coming over. And he backed up. Did I tell this before?
No.
He backed up, and he started to kind of stumble over his words. And he's like, I did have COVID, but I don't anymore. And he's stumbling over his words.
Wow.
And I just said, listen, if I really want to, I can wash my hand. Can I shake your hand? Oh, wow. And I reached out and I shook his hand, and he burst into tears.
Oh, man.
This man is sobbing. I mean, not just crying, he's sobbing. So we got him into the house, and he starts to relate this story about how he had COVID. He'd had a near-death experience, and this is deep lockdown, so everybody's terrified. His wife had MS, and she contracted COVID, they said, from him, and it made her MS really bad. Oh, man. So he'd had this profound near-death experience that terrified him. He couldn't breathe. No one came to help him. So his body is still dealing with the trauma of this not being able to breathe and being isolated and all of this.
He was in the ICU, I think.
He was in the ICU.
Wow.
And then his wife is still suffering, and his whole family blames him for introducing. So he's got this like trauma and this guilt. He'd never heard the gospel.
Oh, wow.
So we got to minister to him and like tend to at least a little piece of his trauma in our kitchen. I was like, Justin, come in here.
Oh, man.
But we saw the power of God just by shaking a hand in the midst of everyone else being afraid.
Yeah. And that is how the kingdom comes.
That
It's
is,
like
if you haven't risked some
going
chips.
into it. Like, I saw a clip the other day of Theo Vaughn, and we talked about him on his whole like spiritual journey or whatever. This is a while back. I don't know why it came. I was listening to another podcast, and they showed the clip of him sitting with this MMA fighter. I forget what his name is. He's a real rough around the edges guy. And he's talking about it like
For an MMA fighter, you
no,
know.
but like he's actually famous for being like he's a nasty dude.
Colby Covington?
No, I don't know. I'm not super into that world, but he starts talking about like childhood trauma, like this super tough guy, like got the cauliflower ears, like he's a killer.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about his dad, like beating him, and Theo makes a joke at first, and then he sees that the guy's like really starting to break down, and like Theo goes, "Oh man, I'll just sit here with you."
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a beautiful picture of,
Yeah.
like that's half the call. Even if we don't have like,
right. Yeah.
maybe the Holy Spirit doesn't come and give us the ability or to heal or whatever, or fix
Right.
the trauma, even just being the ones that are willing to go into the
That's
messy
right.
stuff.
That's right.
Like that's the kingdom stuff.
That's
Like
right.
it felt, watching that clip, it felt really holy. Like even with all the swearing and like
Yeah.
the guy's like, oh F, you know, he's like trying to, he like picks his leg up and he's like squeezing a bottle, and you can see this big, like absolute killer of a man, like having a moment. And Theo had nothing to offer him other than, I'll just sit here with you.
Yeah.
And there's like
it's
20
beautiful.
seconds of
Just silence.
in the podcast. He's just sitting there with him, and you could hear the guy sniffling. It's like,
Wow.
that's it.
Yeah.
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 Man, I felt like COVID was so strange on this level, though, is that like you couldn't sit with people.
Yeah.
Because if you did, and if you tried to extend love or tenderness or mercy, you were accused of being contributing to the problem.
Yeah, totally.
So it wasn't like as picture perfect as, you know, the plague enters Rome and all the pagans leave, but the Christians go in to take care of the sick and dying. We
Yeah.
couldn't,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, and so it was this really odd
really
moment
challenging
where
moment.
People I remember saying like this is going to be this generation's like Second World War, and I'm like, no, the Second World War, everyone got together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everyone huddled, like
Or at
whether
least
you're-
a couple big groups.
well, like in London, like you hear about the stories of them all sleeping down in the tube tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
to stay safe, right? Or they'd get together to sing, or the bodies of one of the boys would get shipped home, and they'd have a funeral, and like, yeah, it was such a. I think that's why it was not necessarily. I mean, how do you measure better or worse and all that kind of stuff? But I think it was more damaging to the fabric of society long term.
I don't think you had to have gone into the COVID wing to demonstrate the gospel, though. I think you just being a non-anxious presence
Totally.
Yeah.
was a really big deal.
And that's still something
But it was
for
hard
us
to be that when you weren't allowed to be in anyone else's presence.
Even for your kids,
Yeah,
though.
totally.
Even for your family.
That's something though. I think we need to carry that muscle that a lot of us developed through that time, like even today, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I mean,
right.
this,
When political stuff's like super.
that it's the bar is so
Hot.
low for the salt of the kingdom
It really
to
is.
pop, right? It's like just
Yeah.
don't be stressed.
yeah,
Right.
Totally.
and be kind. Just be
nice.
kind.
Can you just be kind?
Like, let's
It
not
is-
freak out. Let's not jump on
So
the.
that Theo Vaughn clip you were talking about, like it's amazing to me how often like people think like, you know, someone's going, I don't want to tell them, and it was like literally just being present with them while they're not okay,
Right, right.
accomplishes something.
Be not
really
easily offended. I
Yes.
find that is
Right.
such a mark of the kingdom now. I mean, this is such a funny thing. We were talking about humor in marriage or anything else, but I find that the gift of actually being able to laugh in a wholesome way is the presence of the kingdom in a way that is missing a lot culturally. Like there's toxic laughter that's like mockery and whatever, but that's almost all the culture has left.
I often
And not being offended and being able to laugh is a big
jovial.
deal.
Yeah, whimsy.
Yeah, yeah.
I often
whimsy?
crack jokes in very serious moments, like with people who are like literally like
Yes.
experiencing it. And it's hilarious to me how often it's like that poop joke was a form of ministry in that moment.
Yes, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. But yeah, I think you were talking about not being easily offended, and I would say too, not being easily frazzled. And I don't just mean in like the I'm low stress, but like if someone, like if a grown MMA fighter needs to hug his leg, like that's okay. You know, if you need to hyperventilate for a couple of minutes, cool. Like don't be not just don't you be anxious about whatever's going on, but like don't be anxious about what they're experiencing, because I think a lot of people are scared to let other people see them at their worst because they feel they'll be judged for
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Or they feel that, you know, you're going to think less of me, or you're going to whatever, right? And just being able to go, dude, I've had my crazy moments too, and it's
Yeah, the bar is really low right now.
Yeah,
Like-
which is great. It's
And
great
I guess I
news.
just want to
It's
encourage
awesome.
people too to go like, you don't have to have expertise. I'm like, dude, if Theo Vaughn
Right.
Yeah.
can be a little foretaste to the kingdom.
Totally.
And he ain't even all the way into it yet.
No, I know.
Mean, he can, he's leaning up against the fence, I think, these days.
He's a fall-in.
Yeah. But
Please, I'm a Christian now.
I'd like to hear his simile for what happens when I fell into that like a porcupine fall.
Makes me want to punch a fat kid at Walmart.
Thank you, Lord. Oh God, bring him into the kingdom.
We had a few other things on the list here, but I'm feeling like we've had a pretty well-rounded conversation. So maybe we jump into a little mountainous top 4.
Yeah. We'll end things off there.
So
All right, what do we got?
Our mountainous top 4 today would be your top 4. We're calling them small life upgrades. So these are things you can kind of add to your life, things you could maybe splurge on, whatever. We're not talking huge things. We're not talking Breitlings, but little, relatively inexpensive things that are totally worth the extra time or money. If you're going to splurge somewhere, if you're going to spend a little more time on something somewhere that, have an inordinate impact on the increased quality of your life. What do you got? Brent and I knew this was coming, so we can go first if you guys need
go for
You
it.
want me to get going?
Yeah, you kick us off.
Number 1, this is such a dad thing. A Leatherman.
Ooh,
Yes.
The Leatherman. It's just a great tool to have.
It really
You got
is.
all the things you need. I'm not a mechanic or a handyman, but I do find myself pulling this thing out a lot. You got your knife, you got your rope cutter, you got a couple of screwdriver
Pokey
heads.
bits,
Yeah, man.
stabbers.
It actually comes in handy a lot more than I thought it would. So
Yeah.
I
would have been wise to have
worthy.
one of those on me when the what's the thing called, the scratch guard thing, the little plate on the bottom of your car that keeps stuff
You
from
just- you
fell
never
off
know
on the highway the other day.
when you're going to need a screwdriver or a knife.
you
So worthy investment, the Leatherman multi-tool. Another thing that's
Are you a brand name Leatherman guy?
I do think. I mean, again, there might be guys that are deeper down the rabbit hole than I am, but I do think the Leatherman's.
at least don't cheap out
Pretty
on it.
household name. You know,
can get some
so-
pretty crappy.
Yeah, these ones are
yeah.
like a couple $100, but you can get
Yeah.
a good multi-tool.
Yeah.
Get a good multi-tool.
All right.
Devices or software that will help you read books. So I
good one.
like my Kindle.
Yep.
I specifically because I can keep a whole library on it.
Yeah.
It's not as good as a good old-fashioned paper book.
Yeah.
But it's close. It's better than looking at your digital screen on your iPad or your phone. So that, and then the ultimate hack is like Audible, especially on stuff that you don't really need to retain. If it's fiction or just like poetry or like it's a great. I couldn't exist without it. So get yourself a set of headphones and Audible, and that's a great life hack. Number 3, I'm by no means a green thumb,
Yeah.
but a couple plants in the office. I don't know if you noticed my bonsai tree on the when we had lunch.
I did. I
in
saw
my
it.
office today. But
Is that real?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying. I believe Captain Ron, you're a bit of a bonsai guy yourself, aren't you? Too much. Oh, so do you concur on the bonsai?
Are you a bonsai guy?
See, I'm
no way.
he's a legit.
That's awesome, bro.
Bonsai guy. I need you to come up and actually help me out because I'm by no means a captain.
One of the members of the dozen, David Drury, is a big bonsai guy.
I am enjoying this little thing, the ritual of putting some water in it, making sure it's getting sunlight.
Rituals are so underrated in life.
Oh, it's so true.
Just those little rhythms and rituals,
Totally.
and I
So,
do this at this time this
And
way.
there's something about this thing being alive. I like it. Last one, pets.
Yeah.
Particularly dogs.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one, but
I think
don't mind
I think the
cats.
upgrade is from cat.
I don't mind cats. Like we got a couple cats. I like them. They don't like me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I can't get close to them. I just want to snuggle one so bad.
Come over and see my cat.
It won't let me.
My
They
cat.
just both look at me like you're not my person.
My cat is so emotionally needy. My cat is the cat of your dog.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a golden retriever.
Maybe
of
that's
cats.
why my cats don't respond. Like we see what that dog does to you. Like you get plenty of love.
Have some self-respect. That's what I was
That's
thinking
my list.
That's what I was thinking. My cat's saying to me. It's interesting you mentioned the reading thing. I mean, I would concur with that. It's not on my list. I actually, and I don't know why it is, I read best off my iPad.
Man.
I think it's because I can set it in scroll mode,
continuous scroll?
and it games my brain
Oh, yeah, that's
into
cool.
thinking that I'm not reading. I'll just read the next paragraph, and I just keep scrolling through. But
Well, especially if you can bring, instead of having to move your eyes down,
Totally.
you can kind of bring it up into your.
Yep.
I wish the Kindle would do continuous scroll.
and you can do this, I think, with the Kindle too. But I read better with its fairly large font, and you can also change the font to Open Dyslexic, which is anyway. So here's what I'm going to go. I once heard a piece of advice that said, "Pay more money for the things that touch your skin." And I realized that my list is pretty close to that. I'm not a big name brand guy, but one name brand I'm deeply loyal to is Q-Tip.
I mean, is there any other name?
Well,
Yeah.
there's like all kinds of
Walmart.
off-brand ones.
We call them Q-tips.
Are
though.
compliments, but no, yes, it is a
It's like Kleenex. They own the facial tissue.
totally. But I'll
probably.
blow my nose on anything. I only want to clean my ears out with a brand name Q-tip.
Cleaning your ears is overrated anyway.
Oh, dude,
And probably
You
not
ever used an ear candle?
no, but I am obsessive about ear hygiene.
Then you need to do ear candle.
No, there's nothing in there to candle out, bro. I go hard. I got tools.
Which is why only Q-tip will do.
I got tools.
But you know that-
I got devices.
Gross. What's your next one?
A nice soap.
Ooh, yeah.
It's just one of those.
Yeah.
Like showering is one of those things that.
Do you use your Dr. Squatch yet?
Dude, I've been squatching it up ever since
Mine's
that day.
gone. You must not shower very much.
No, dude, I use it every day.
We got that Squatch at the same time. Mine's gone.
Yeah, but you got two teenage boys, two
share
boys who
my
are sharing
soap.
your. How do you know? You take it out of the
They have
bathroom
it-
with you?
I have my own shower.
Look at you. I used to have my own shower. I miss it. I'm getting through it, but I'm not all the way through it yet. I do have occasionally. I got to go back to my Irish Spring, but it depends on how fancy I'm feeling. But yeah, it's just something that smells nice, feels nice. I like something with a little scratchiness in it, but it takes a normal everyday task, the shower, and just takes it up a little notch. You got to do it anyways. You might as well have fun.
Love it.
Nice.
Comfortable shoes.
Oh, that was one of mine.
You are a
Comfortable
shoe guy,
all the way.
particularly on comfort.
Yeah, on
You're not a
comfort.
shoe guy.
No, I'm not a bit. I actually have the shoes I have on right now. I have literally the exact identical pair at home as well.
That's amazing.
I just found some I like, and so I bought a couple of pairs. But yeah, like that radiates up your whole body. What's on your feet? So yeah,
See, I'm way too
So
vain
true.
for that.
Yeah.
Like I have those black Vans that I preach in.
Yeah.
And my back is so hurt.
Yes,
by
my-
the end of a Sunday, but I will not.
Yeah, that's how my back.
I will not put on some New Balance.
That's
just so
how my
back
back-
doesn't.
That's how my back feels before I do a whole day. So I got to give myself. I used to have. I still have foot issues, but I used to have major foot issues. I've got big toes that don't bend. All
Gross.
kinds
What's
of weird
next?
stuff. You want to see my feet, Brett?
Speaking of incest.
My parents weren't even from the same country, bro.
Oh, okay.
Although my mom's family is all from the county. So anyway.
Maybe a stranger.
And then comfortable undies.
Enough said.
Dude, you just took one of mine.
Yeah, no, you gotta.
Okay, bamboo. My wife bought me some underwear from Marshall's. Bamboo fabric.
What?
Yeah, they're so comfortable. I mean, the best underwear I've ever had in my life. Secondly, Streetlights Bible app.
Hey, yes.
So good.
Absolutely.
They lay down
Not familiar.
lay down
Oh,
some
dude.
awesome hip hop like
Streetlights
beats.
is
So
awesome.
especially the imprecatory psalms, like bash
Yeah.
their teeth in. The guy gets all like hood on it. It's
So
so
it's
good.
basically just like I raps
It's like
through the
spoken
Bible.
word,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
scripture,
it's
and a beat.
so
Pretty great.
good.
Some chill hop.
Number 3, I just bought an air compressor.
Oh, dude.
Hey.
A DeWalt, dude. Man, I can do everything with that. None of
love
the
air
like,
compressors.
yeah, no more of these
The
junky
little
sort
like
of.
yay by yay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
in my
yeah.
workshop. I'll show it to you tonight. I got the exact
Can't
same
wait,
one.
man.
For a couple
I'm
minutes.
telling you, like, you run that thing. The nailers,
Yes.
all
And
the
just
bikes that I have to pump up the
dusting
tires.
stuff.
Just blow stuff. Yeah.
So great. My kids are using it like on their
Totally.
face and under their armpits
your ears with
and
that.
other orifices.
You can blow your eardrums. I don't joke
Yeah.
about ear care.
It's not a laughing matter.
I'll joke about death, cancer, but poop all day long. But ear care, it's a serious business.
All right.
Your bidet. That's got it.
Dude, my
First, I
bidet,
thought
man.
you said ear bidet. I'm like, now what is an ear bidet? But okay,
You don't have that one? Yeah.
No.
My boys got that for me for my birthday last year.
You
And
are
it has-
raising those boys
I'm
right.
telling you,
My
it has
goodness.
changed my life.
What is that? What are they trying to communicate to you though? When they're like, Dad,
Love. That they love
Love.
him.
that thing better. Mom is always
wanna
blaming
say
us for the
anything.
smell in the house. We know it's you, Dad.
Oh man,
anything.
that totally changed
Once
my
we go
life.
off
I'm
the air,
telling you
remind me
right now.
to tell you a story related to that. Go ahead.
Do a bidet.
To
Yeah.
bottom
Anyway,
hygiene.
the last one would be my full focus planner, dude. That analog planner, written,
Really?
like so good.
My wife
so
would get
good.
on board with that. She refuses to use digital calendar.
Yeah, no way.
Is she into like the whole dot journal thing? My wife got on that kick for a while.
Because she's a nurse, like the nurses union, like they give them these annual little pocket calendars, and she's been using that for 25 years, and she refuses. Like,
Really?
babe, you know my life's like a little complex. Can you just use iCal and we can meet in the middle? And she's like, no. If you need to know what I got going on, look at my calendar.
Wow. She drew her
Is
boundaries.
that hard to be married to the Amish?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Boundaries.
More Mennonite. She does drive a car.
yeah, no, she's a Luddite, not a Mennonite.
okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Right.
I mean, I think growing up in Maine, it was hard to value things that you couldn't eat or heat your house with. And so, like buying things for the sake of comfort always feels like a hurdle for me. Like, okay, I guess it's all right if I
Can I have nice things?
not even just nice, like just upgrade enough so that you're not just
non-survival
proud
level?
of being uncomfortable all the time.
How many Breitlings do you
That
own?
is.
I don't even know. I didn't know what it was. and
That
I
is
still
a-
keep.
I didn't either till it clicked. That is a main thing, though, right?
It really
it's almost
is.
like you pride
you
yourself.
pride
on how
yourself
little
in
you can
being
get by on.
uncomfortable.
She
and
was
how
mad
little
at me
you
the
can
first
get
time I
by.
bought a vacuum.
It's true. I was like, I can sweep. Why would you have a vacuum?
I did buy it for her birthday.
And
so
I
that's
was
kind of
so mad.
Now you know
It's a
the
double,
rest of
yeah,
the
it's a double
story.
win.
Yeah.
For all mankind, don't buy your wife an appliance that anyone else gets any benefit from.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if she's into quilting, you can buy her a sewing machine or something.
Right. But it like here's an upgrade so you can clean my house better.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
not
has to be
great.
something no one else can benefit from.
But I did
not a win.
upgrade and I bought like a plug-in heating blanket.
Oh yeah. we have two
That
of those.
changed my life. But it was a real cave. I did it last year.
Finally, just
Yeah,
at
yeah. I
this point,
finally just
let
gave in. I was like,
yourself
maybe I will
splurge.
not lose my salvation. I'm
That's
I'm
funny.
gonna go soft. I'm gonna
She's
need.
super Arminian.
Can I?
I am.
We only ever use one at a time. We have two electric heating blankets, and my dog uses them.
Wow.
And my wife has a heating pad at the office, also
Yeah.
for my dog.
Yeah, I actually packed mine, and now I just bring
There
it
you
with
go.
me because we
No
do a lot
shame.
of traveling, and I was just cold all the time. Speaking
Yeah.
of being cold, I was just always cold.
You should get one of those. You can get them on Amazon, like the heated vests.
I don't know. I might just not. I
Wouldn't you be
might
afraid
lose
you're
my
gonna go up in
salvation.
flames? Like,
No, I just would get soft. I would just be like, I just need to be
It's
comfortable
got the
all
same
the
battery in it as
time.
the phone in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't want to get soft. Anyway, so
that's true.
all right, so I caved and I did buy the heating pad. A coffee mug you really like, like not a cheap one that holds the, like it you
Yeah.
know, something
Yeah,
that
I
holds
like
the
that.
heat well, something you really
my wife
love.
is huge into like. It's one of those things where you like if you've got a bunch of coffee mugs, there's these
always
all look identical, but
one
like this is the
that
one.
you really love. And my aunt used to sell Longerburger, and we inherited a bunch of old Longerburger mugs that have never broken.
They're
and they
amazing.
retain heat, and they're really like nice to hold in the morning.
Are you more the feel of the hold, the
both,
heft
all,
of the hold?
all of
heft
it.
and
It's
feel.
just it's the
Yeah.
whole thing. It just needs to be a great mug. Fresh herbs. Like I've just found it's always worth having some fresh herbs around, even in the winter, like a little garden box.
I was
a
noticing
little-
that cilantro on our burrito bowls today, and I'm
It
appreciating that.
elevates a meal. You can have a
does.
really
It
crummy
does.
meal, but cut some chives onto
Well
it.
said.
It just really changes the meal. And then, gosh, this is so funny, but I'm noticing it because we killed ours. But the lemon squeezer, instead of just
yeah.
using the spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But
it's
you
not a squeezer. You put it on top
on
of
a
it.
lemon squeezer.
Well, I haven't bought a new one yet. My kids did get me one for Christmas a few years ago because they're like, "Mom, this is embarrassing. Stop."
There's
Stop.
there's this
There's
advanced
technology
Yeah,
for this.
for this. Oh man, it's been fun. Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Captain Ron,
Yay.
for you sailed us
right.
yet again.
We've made it
safely
back to the
shore.
harbor.
Here we are.
We're safe and sound.
We're in.
You can now disembark.
We'll see you next time, dozens.